All right. Um, Let me get set up here and we'll get into this topic. It was very interesting and it should be talked about. So let me cue my theme music and we'll get into it. Welcome to the Brother Speak podcast. This is Brother Speak. If this is your first time listening to me, thank you. And please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about a panel a couple of days ago that the Ebony Star Network had. Uh, it was talking about the war on black women, and it featured a very interesting guest. One which I would have thought he would never go on that particular channel, but he did. And that is Mr. Research, one of my favorite YouTubers. So it was very interesting exchange. It got heated a bit. Um, there was a lot of miscommunication, mishearing of things, and there, but at the end of it, it really showed why there's such a divide between black men and how they treat black women, how they feel about the community, how they feel about black men in particular. Yeah, it was a lot of stuff that was brought up, and it was interesting. But anyway, this is be my first Thanksgiving without my mother. She passed away in June, so it's kind of weird for me not to be around her for Thanksgiving. Usually we eat dinner, we'll either go to family or, a family will bring food over so she can eat. And that's not happening this year. I don't know if she still be alive. We still would go or not, but it's just it's interesting to. This is a new dynamic for me. Um, so it is what it is. I really didn't have no turkey or anything. I'm not a fan of turkey. I just cooked me some hamburgers, cooked me some sausage, got me some potato tots, and I'm good. It's just one of those things you have to adjust. And when you don't have a family, I mean, you're just doing it for self. So no biggie. It's not really a biggie for me. So, but yeah, I was just thinking about some things earlier. I was just thinking about, um, I was thinking about R&B, how R&B kind of changed since the, you know, since the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, and now in 2000s. R&B has changed. It's not more the romantic side as much as more of a sexual undertone now. It's undertone now. It's just blatant at this point. Just blatant sexual shit, and it's like it gets you out of the mood of even listening to it, man. And I'm like, damn, you might as well just be doing a porno at this point. I mean, you might as well just talk about. I mean, we remember tanks when we, well, you know the song. And by the way, Tank has kind of ruined R&B for me after the whole sucking dick thing that he was talking about. I'm like, I can't even listen to any of his songs, and all I can think about is just the slurping. Thanks to this goofball. So thank you, Tank, for that. You ruined R&B for me. At least a lot of your songs. Now I gotta look at all these singers suspect, and shit, even rap is kind of got suspect. You got some of these dudes now gay, might as well be gay. Uh, it's just like ain't any straight man in this music business anymore. Shit, man. Then you got the women coming out, they bisexual. I'm like, any straight women in this thing? Damn. But yeah, it's been. I was just thinking about that. Um, you know, thinking about. Uh, just got off a panel with BMT talking about him trying to get the PS5. Man, I don't know about getting that PS5 yet. It's too early for me. I gotta wait. You know, it's too early, and I haven't seen anything that jumps out at me to make me want to just go run and pay this $500 for this damn thing. I'm like, I still haven't even got the PS4, and I've been debating that for a while. You know, still got my Xbox One, and I've been thinking about getting a PS4, but some of the games I haven't seen any games that jumped out at me. Even Street Fighter, and I love Street Fighter. That haven't even got me to get me to go get a PS4. And then talking about getting a PS5, that's a little much for me. A little much, especially for the price point of $500, man. Look, it's not that I don't have the money. I have the money, but I can't really justify paying that much for a game system. You know, now my last my game system purchase was the Switch. I had to buy two of them motherfuckers. One was the mod one that I messed up. That's $300 something down the toilet. Then I had to go get another one and get all the accessories with it, and that rounded up to about 500. So, but then to go get a system with very little accessories, just a controller for 500. Then talking about going to get a game with it, and the games are like $70, $80. Yeah, yeah, I'm not in the rush to go get one of those. I am not in the rush. So you can miss me with that. You can miss me with that shit, man. But anyway, announcement. I'm gonna probably start another channel. It's gonna be more of my dealing with video game reviews. Just me playing video games and probably do video game reviews, mainly like for the Switch. Um, Probably want to. I'm gonna do that because I've been wanting to do it. I did play. I did a video earlier about me playing the Super Mario Bros. 35. Um, I tried to do it on StreamYard, but it didn't look too good. So trying to do it live didn't look too good. So probably gonna try that again. Just record it and just upload it. Do it that way. But it's not gonna be on this channel because I think it's gonna be somewhere else. So that's a little update. Also, look for me on podbean.brotherspeak.com. So I'm gonna put these podcasts on and probably do an audio only podcast. Because sometimes, I don't tend to want to deal with stream yards. I just want to just speak and just keep it pushing. So that's what I'm planning on. So I've been rambling on a minute. I wanted to get to the main topic of this podcast, Mr. Research versus the Ebony Star Network. Now, I'm a fan of both Mr. Research and I'm a fan of the people over there on the Ebony Star Network, which is ran primarily like the Black Knight, Maximum Overdrive. Um, like both men, they both stand on their square. They both believe in what they believe in, and they don't backtrack. If they are wrong, they do admit if they're wrong, but they stand on their square, and I respect that. Uh, I think Mr. Research panel was like, I think was the first panels that I've been on, and it was very polite conversation. He is very polite. He don't try to. If he thinks you're wrong, he'll try to correct you, and he tend to have research on the side. Whereas, when I come up, I'm usually going off the cuff. Not really research, it's just things I've seen, things I've heard, you know, that kind of thing. So I've been on his panels, and then, with the Ebony Star Network, but before that, it was called Maximum Overdrive. I got on his channel through another group, the B1 people. So went to listen to him, and I think my first time getting on his panel, we kind of was cross on. I think it was a guy on there that was saying that he didn't want to have long-standing relationships with women. He'd rather be living alone. And I remember Max was saying that that's weak. If you don't want to have a family, that's weak. So I went on the panel, to kind of to challenge that. I'm like, I don't think that's weak. I think what's weak is pretending that you want a family when you really don't, playing that role. So, once we started talking, I just see, I really like this guy. This guy's cool. He's standing on this square. He reminds me of, he reminds me of my father. I mean, my dad was that same way. He stand on his squares. He do not play. He say what he's mean what he say. He never switches it up. So I have a little checkered history with them, and because I made some videos which was critical of black women, kind of in support of SYSBM. They didn't particularly like that. I got questioned. They called me SYSBM guy, and they took my wrench away for a bit. I had got a wrench, then they took it away, and got blocked from the channel for a while, and then came back, and got the wrench back. Me, and the wrenches. I never understood that whole wrench. I'm like, it's a wrench. Who cares? Some people use it as a power tool. They want to be petty against people. I'm like, I don't even barely use it. They give these suggestions about the message. By the time I even put yes or no, somebody else has already handled it. So, I don't think the wrenches mean anything. So I be on there. I say my piece. He's always been respectful to me. I mean, he's given me a lot of respect. Said some good things about me. And I respect that because I don't back down from what I say. If I said it, I said it. If it hurts people's feelings, oh well. But I never try to back down from what I say. Now I can agree with people's stuff, and I can agree where I agree, but when I disagree, I disagree. But I be polite. I don't try to insult. I don't try to say that's just stupid. At least try to. There's some people though. Uh, it just like irritate me to hell. But for the most part, I don't. I try to be respectful and understand it from people's point of view, and that's the thing with Max. I understand where he comes from, and something like I said, I agree with. And when I first heard what he said about black men, I'd be like, "Damn, dude, that's kind of harsh, man. Damn, give the brothers a break." But as you keep listening to YouTube and seeing how this shit has gone down, and also in public, I'm kind of like, yeah, Max, you're on to something. You're on to something. I don't want. I can't. Sometimes you can't defend some of this stuff that be going on with these guys. But anyway, I could be rambling all night. But anyway, they had a panel. It was the war on black women, and I'm looking. I was out. I was trying to go to a club for the day, and I looked online, and I'm like, "Is that Mr. Research? He's on their panel?" And I'm like, "Well, hot damn, that is him on their panel." I'm like, this is amazing. This is either going to be great or this is going to be crazy. And sure enough, it was great. It was crazy. There was some stuff there on there that even I was like, whoa, this is crazy. But like I said, it really just showed how there's a very um there's very opposing views just within black men about how to deal with black women. And I think that's kind of holding us back as a group. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play some of it. I'm not gonna play the whole thing because that thing was like, uh, he was on there for like maybe 3 hours, and I'm not trying to hold y'all up that long. So I'm gonna play some of it. Um, some things that I found very interesting. Yeah, so I did take some notes. I took some notes here. Let me look at them right quick. So, first note, Mr. Research is on Ebony Star Network panel. OMG, this is going to be great. Could be a mess towards the end. Was everything I thought it was and more. Disrespect black men. If guys over there think you're disrespecting black women, good luck to you. Because I know Mr. Research how he feel about black women and their role in the black community, and I know it's going to be diametrically opposed to what Max and that group think. So I knew this was not gonna go well. I mean, it got heated. There was insults thrown. I mean, that's just the par for the course. Um, but I mean, it was a good discussion. It just showed you about black men and their view of black women is very divided right now. So the first thing they did, let me put the note. Let me look at my notes here. First thing was talking about uh, black men in rap, talking about men as though I think one of the ladies on that Melanated Misfit was on there talking about how it's um, comparable to women singing about breakups with boyfriends, and how these guys felt betrayed. So Mr. Research, I guess he came up there to speak on that part about how why is that the case. So let me. I probably couldn't talk about it. They would do it justice. Hold on. Okay, let me go back to that part. Okay. All right. So here. It's like this bitterness that they have, like, yeah, this is how my homie crossed me. You know, I put him before my own family, and this is what he did. I mean, young Lil Boosie has a song like that called "Betrayed." Young Jeezy has several songs like that that I can't even think of off the top of my head. Okay, before I begin, fair use, fair use, fair use. This is not to diss anybody on the panel. This is just my observation of stuff. So I'm not trying to diss. I'm not taking sides. Just showing what happened. Fair use. Excuse me. DMX has a song like that. There's always this underlying male loyalty to their homeboy. You broke my heart kind of thing, huh? You know what's even weirder? That sounds like a woman's betrayed anthem song. You know, like it does. Yeah, they kind of ruined rap for me. I mean, I was already kind of on the fence of rap, but after hearing this, it's like, fuck. Definitely. Especially when you hear that, I don't know if I skipped that part about when they talk about DMX. Yeah, let me play.
Wait a minute. I gave you what's that song from let's see it no, I can't remember the movie. I was your lover and your secretary. You know what
That
else?
kind of thing, exactly. Mary
Yeah.
J. Blige, the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, exactly. There's always
Classic.
this underlying. I put in all this work in our relationship, like, and it's always to like their home. Okay, if there's any men in here who are like hip hop heads, okay, remember the song on DMX? I think it's "Flesh in My Flesh, Blood of My Blood" album. And the locks is on there, and they're like, "Used to be my dog, you was in my left titty. Scream right at that, thought you would die with me." That's
Yeah. That like what I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, damn. Had to, it started making me look at DMX sideways. Maybe when DMX wrote that, he rapped that he was coming out off the high of the crack. I mean, up in here, he probably was on the good crack. This right there, he was probably coming down off the high. And he was thinking of all the shit he went through. I thought, oh my god, why? Why was this a thing? Oh man, it's like man, now I gotta think about all the rap, and then the other, even with Get Up in Here, he's talking about dudes suck his dick and stuff. I'm like, God damn it! I'm like, thank you, Miss Melanated Misfit. Thank you, Max, for ruining rap for me. Y'all ruining rap for me. I hope y'all fucking happy. Oh man, I got shit. That's why I see. I only listen like to Lupe Fiasco, Tyler Kweli. Like, Jesus Christ, I can't. I gotta look at some of these people with a side. Now, little Boosie. I mean, shoot. Once he said that thing about him and his little cousins, little nephews, bringing them to the strip and having sex with her with while they're there or watching them have sex or something like that. I like, okay, okay, I'm done with this goofball. No, no, we look. I mean, look. If he was 20 something and you want to bring a stripper to him to have sex with while you leave the room, okay. You having sex with him there and then you taking your turn? No, bro, no. We ain't no. And the kid was like 12. Oh fuck no, no. Yuck. Ah, yeah. So yeah, like after listen to that shit, listen to this shit, I'd be like, man, if I was a drinker, man, I'd be going to get some booze right now. Damn, damn. Anyway, so here's Mr. Research. I think he's about to talk. You know.
basically saying, "You were my dog, you were in my heart, and you betrayed me." Like, but you never hear them saying this about a woman.
Uh-huh.
I think I can explain, but I'll wait for you guys to finish.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Mr. Research. I can't pronounce the first part of your name. Oh, you was through, Melanated Misfit?
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty much done. I was just wanted to point out, like with Max, what Max was saying, like when he was saying, like you dudes are always, like trying to huddle up with your homeboys because you guys are gay. Like you have this. I understand, like being in the streets and like selling dope and being with your friends and you turn that into like a family structure. I get that. But these guys, like these rappers, they're making songs that literally talk about how other men, broke their hearts. Like, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard it too many times. It's too much. Oh, I gave you my last. How could you do this to me? We were in the streets. You played me. But you never hear them make songs about women.
Well, I mean, like on that one, they do make songs about women. It's just that, um, I mean, there were rappers that making songs about women. I mean, LL Cool J, Ja Rule. Um, oh, okay. So, I mean, uh, like I said, LL Cool J, Ja Rule. Hey, even 50 Cent, he had a song out there talking about women. You know, so yeah. Now, now personally, some of these rap songs that she was talking about, I probably, maybe if I actually listened to it with a fine tooth, with my really digging into it, I probably would hear that. But to say that's all they just rap about, I mean, that's kind of harsh there because they rap about a whole bunch of stuff. Um, you had rappers that was talking about dealing with women. So I don't know. Maybe that's the songs that she was hearing. Cause I heard them on, like, they talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Now it's more sexual than now than it is back then. You know, like more sexual, and then it's more about the drugs and getting high and getting the women and everything. It's like, geez, yeah. I mean, damn, you got to get high every day. God damn, you can't have a clear head one day. But yeah, let me get back to it.
Okay. Kendall goes, the best thing any nigga in the street can have is another nigga that they can trust.
I mean,
Yeah,
I understand that to an extent. I mean, of course, you're in the streets. You need to be able to, have your shooter and, have your whatever. But this, you broke my heart kind of thing. If you listen to rap, you know what I'm talking about. So,
okay. I'm gonna have to start listening to it again. I ain't been listening quite so much lately. So
Yeah, I'm scared to listen to it now. I really am. I'm like, I'm good. I am good. If they don't be talking about shit like that, nah, I'm good. I'll just stick to my Lupe Fiasco, Tyler Quiley, Mike Shinoa of Linkin Park. I never heard any gay stuff from them. this this thing, I'm like, what the hell, man? What the hell? Uh anyway, let's see if some Mr. Research on this one.
what did Mr. Research want to say?
oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Research. Go ahead. What you wanted to say?
Well, I was just being polite and waiting. Um, so I appreciate you guys allowing somebody to give a opposing view. So a lot of things I'm about to say, people ain't gonna understand because we as black males, we're not really valued. So in our communities, the unsaid thing in the hood is that our own family want our death. So we're not really in that mind space critique that you hear. And I scrolled all the way back to when the gentleman was speaking also. Our number one thing is the males in our community hate us so much they want us to serve women 24/7. And all that is cool because it comes from the times of our grandfathers, 1950 and what have you, and women didn't have the right to vote. And it was all about looking out for your cousin, your sister, your mom, what have you. But something happened, and I'm getting to the rap thing. Something happened along the way. Women forgot that men were helping them more than white women were helping them. Women,
Yeah, Mr. Research is very critical of black women, and critical as the community in general when it comes to the black boys and the black men of the the community, how they are treated. And yeah, that's not gonna go over well with this group. I, I I've been around them a while. I know that's not gonna that's not gonna end well. So that's gonna be that's gonna be his main premise. Well, so there's gonna be a lot. His main premise is how the boys are treated and how the women's responsibility in where the community is right now. And that's not going to go well over here, especially when you got people who think it's the men's fault for where it's going. So yeah.
been turned into this, I'm going to ride for the white woman and her feminist views. Well, why? We black men are already hiring you. We black men are already got you as our dentist assistants, doctors assistants, just for something documented, just for the opinion people out there. We got to put documented facts for those folks. The Pullman Union created the first Black Women's International Convention for Black women. The Black woman who flew around the world, bankrolled by a Black woman. I mean, a Black man. Even Madam C.J. Walker, who real name is Sarah Breedlove, she was bankrolled by C.J., who owned the Denver Post and he owned the St. Louis Post. But they try to make him seem like he was a broke dude. We're constantly being attacked, but yet the only commonality we tend to have is another brother who understands. Now, let me say it again. You got the brothers who hate us so much, they only want us to serve women. You got dudes who want women to win more than they want their own sons to win. And you see that in our community, which is why you ladies do so well across the board and the sons do so terrible. Because that dude, even 100 black men, I said this to a couple of them. You guys give, according to your own records, you guys give 70% of the money that comes in for 100 black men. You give it to black girls. Why? While 100 black women does nothing for black boys at all. Now, let's get to the rap thing. Back in 1984, song was released. Now, mind you, 1984 wasn't nobody calling women B's and H's on the microphone, on wax. But Roxanne Shante released a song called Brothers Ain't Shit, and it blew like wildfire. So when Too Short finally came out in 1986, 3 years later, and Dogcatcher was released, and Clinton said George Clinton said the same thing. Well, they call us dogs, so I made Dogcatcher. We just, I guess we just consider dogs. This is when dogs start being famous. And this is something the guys who hate us don't want to admit, is that women are constantly browbeating for the past 2 or 3 decades. And I'm going to wrap up by saying this. So when Too Short finally came out with Be It, they asked him, Todd, why did you do that? Well, look at all the records they put out about us. Nobody says nothing. And so now it's grown like wildfire. That's where the problem is. We don't get hired by our women. We get blocked by our women, most of us. Now, there are 20% of women who are great. 20%, 200,000, $250,000 who are great outstanding. They love men. They don't have that type of experience. And there are brothers who don't have that type of experience. But the vast majority, they see black males as pit bulls. Protect us, but we're going to help the white man shoot you at the same time. Go ahead, you guys.
Really quick.
So yeah, you can see how this is going to go. Now, for me, thinking back to the 80s, 85, 86, I don't even remember that song by Roxanne Shante. That must have been like in California because I don't even remember that song. The closest I remember where, you had women talk about how they had bad relationships. Um, you had that going on. I mean, you was having that since the 60s. Women singing about this dude did this to her, this dude did that, and um, so I don't remember this song. But then again, I wasn't really into rap. I didn't really get really into rap until like the late '90s, um, late '90s, early 2000s. Um, Back then, I was more of a R&B, blues, um, because I was around my mother, and my mother, that's what she didn't play much rap. She didn't play a lot of rap. She played R&B. There was certain rap songs she would listen to, but on the whole, it was more like R&B. And then when I was around my dad, oh shit, you talking about somebody who hate rap? He hates rap to a passion. He hated rap for like a passion. I couldn't even play that around. Yeah, he all he loved was blues and country. You ain't playing no rap in that house. Ain't that ain't happening. So my experience been I didn't really hear any women just flat out shit on guys. Uh, that I can like really remember was really until I want to say TLC with No Scrubs. Then you had Destiny Child came out with uh Can You Pay My Bills and Say My Name? Which I thought those songs were kind of stupid. I was really mocking. I was mocking that song that Say My Name. But yeah, and I remember the bees and but I really didn't take any stock in it. You know, I just thought it was just women they knew because damn. But yeah, that's my experience. So as far as who started what in the music thing, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. But I know there was a lot of women singing about how their men did them wrong and all that garbage. There was a lot more of that than guys were singing that. You really didn't see a lot of that, um, especially the bees and all that, really until, like you said, the 80s, like mid 80s, 90s. And even, and she was talking about, well, I think somebody in the chat was talking about, well, these thousands of these rappers wasn't singing about women. I'm like, no, but you had LL Cool J, you had Ja Rule, you had 50 Cent. They had a song. I'm pretty sure there was other rappers that had some type of love song or something like that. Because you had a lot of those guys had female fans. So I think it was more of a balance back then. Now it's just like now it's not even they just dissing women. It's just sex, 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 drugs, 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 money, 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 sex. There ain't no romance and no rap no more. Jesus Christ. But anyway, so yeah, they're gonna rebut it. I think Max come in at some point, but let me go.
Um, what did you say in 1984 that now first of all, when you said I don't know, there were so many things that you said that I didn't agree with. It's really tough to point out all of them. Okay, let me try to analyze it. First off, when you said when Roxanne made a song that said brothers ain't shit, and then you said Too Short counteracted that with his song. Okay, Roxanne made one song. And up until, let me see, what, the late 90s, I never really heard songs about Black women making songs saying that these quote unquote brothers ain't shit. So from 1984, okay, that was one song. And then here come the
Yeah, that I had to agree with her on that. I don't remember a lot of women other than the romantic songs talking about how this man did me wrong and all this. So I kind of agree with her on that. I didn't really hear it, or if I did, it just went out one ear or the other. Man, just been a bitch. No, no need to worry about it. But
90s where Black women are finally realizing that Black men treat them like garbage. And so it's like, okay, well, let us make a song about these niggas because they ain't shit. Secondly, I don't know any Black men in any sector that's writing for Black women and want them to win. Like you were saying, like, oh, they just want to give stuff to Black women and they just want Black women to, win and they're not giving anything to Black boys. I don't see that. I used to go to the Urban League. I never seen Black men going out of their way to help Black women win. Now, I've seen them going out of their way to help Black men win, but I've never been in any sector in my 39 years on this earth where Black men were writing and advocating for Black women to quote unquote win. Never, ever in my life. Now what I do see.
well, to be fair to Mr. Research, I do see guys who do support women. They're quick to support women more than guys. Um, you know, but it's usually some kind of ulterior motive by it. I mean, there's some that would generally want to help women win. Maybe if she's a single mom, they probably want to help her like that. But many times it's just to get some vagina. It's just to get some vagina. I'm like, yeah. So, but yeah, it's like, yeah, I hire you, but you know what you got to do with this back room, right? Yeah. So it wasn't like they were just helping women because they just, for the most part, generally, I think it was a few people that generally wanted to help women, but a lot of it was more or less, I just want to have a Harlem of sorts. Why you think there's a lot of these Me Too movements going on? Yeah, but Black men, yeah, they were more supportive of Black women, but it was a lot of it was a lot of interior motives. It was more of a sexual motive than actually genuinely wanting women to win. But let me continue.
Is Black women putting themselves on the front lines and putting their lives in danger and their reputations in danger because they're tired of seeing Black men get murdered. That's what I do see.
So I saw this one this was on the chat. They were talking about Mama Rain was talking about in the 70s, Black men were pimping out little girls to pimping out in the 70s. I would think more or less that would probably be in the 80s, with the crack era. Because I tell you, that crack era, ooh, But the 70s, little girls. Mm, I don't know about the 70s. Maybe the 80s. Maybe the 80s and 90s when the crack was really hitting. I see dudes pimping out little girls, but something like that. The 70s. That's when black men was still on that don't mess with children shit. I mean, you know, not like now. It's like it's. I remember that this is just a weird thing, kind of connected to this. I remember this guy brought this girl into this club. I swear to God, I there's no way she was 18. The dude was pimping her out. There's no way this girl was 18. She was offering. I'm like, no, no, you ain't about to charge me with no statutory rate. Nah, bro, you got no. I'm good though. I'm like, there's no way this girl's 18. No way. And what the fun thing, there was a white dude was mad because she wouldn't give it up for free. Man, she should go get a real job. I said, I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, dude, if she would have given it up for free, you'd take it. I know you would take it. But yeah, that I mean, but the 70s? I don't know. I have to look up that. But I would think more of the 80s, 90s, and I know 2000 now. It's just like these little girls, ain't they fucked. I'm I'm sorry. These boys and girls right now, they fucked. They are fucked. They are fucked. I'm gonna say it again. They are fucked. There's if you are a kid right now, good luck to you. I hope, I hope your parents at least care enough. 'Cause Jesus Christ, I'm seeing little boys and little girls getting killed off. Everybody killing these kids now. Black men, black women, white men, white women. I mean, God damn it. They just kill these kids ain't no safety for these kids. None. And it's terrible, man. But let me continue.
So I'm not really sure. And then as far as you saying that black women aren't giving black men jobs, black black women shouldn't have to give black men jobs. You would never hear a white male say, white women aren't giving us jobs. Like white men do not depend on white women to do anything for them at all. They built a society, they created and structured it to where white women are at their mercy along with everyone else. You would never hear another race of men, feel away because their woman isn't giving them jobs ever.
Uh Technically not true. There are white dudes who are saying that these white women are taking the jobs. So that's partially not true. Um, a lot of this stuff connected to the Me Too movement. Now, white execs is like, we're not going to be alone with women. We're not even going to participate with women. So much so now the women are crying, saying that you can't do that to us. You got to talk to us. And we're like, guys, like, nope. I think there's somebody was saying there's an actual law where if you are not interact purposely interacting with women, the women can sue you. So yeah, there is got white guys saying these women are trying to block them from getting jobs. So that's not necessarily true. Now, as far as black women stopping guys from getting jobs, I don't know about that, but I know they're causing a lot of problems on the job. I've been a victim of that. I'm just saying. Is so partially that's true. These women are acting up. They get a little power, then it goes to their head, and then they want to take it out on everybody. They have a bad day. You about to have a bad day. I'm in one black female supervisor. All she do, she come in there yelling, I'm gonna write you up. I'm gonna write you up. I'm like, you got me in here listening to this. Where am I working? Like, just tell me where I'm working so I can leave. Cause I ain't about to hear all this. Like, either write us up or let us go. I ain't trying to hear all this. Jesus Christ. Every day. I'm gonna write you up. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing it. I'm like, and we're looking at it like, is she getting laid or something? Because she seemed mighty angry. Mighty angry over bullshit. I don't know what's going on. Jesus. But yeah, as far as that, yeah, I can see that. But I will say there were women. I think this lady will say it a little bit later. Let me go into that.
So my rebuttal to that is that's why I gave you the documented things. I want to get beyond opinion. And that way people who hear our conversation can decide for themselves whether we're making speeches or whether this stuff is documented. So just to rebut real quick, and I'll give you the microphone back. That was not one song. That was the lead off song that led off to a bunch of other songs. So 3 years later, like I documented, Too Short Tide came and he made his in 1986. Roxanne Shante had a bunch of songs. She had albums. So I don't know where this one song thing comes from, but I'm going to assume that you meant the one diss song. The point that I'm making.
Yeah, the one that you were just saying. Now I get it. Now I haven't heard all of her music, so maybe all of her music was, Brothers Ain't Shit or whatever, which I honestly don't blame her. I mean, obviously she woke up and realized what the issue was.
Yeah, man made a mistake. Yeah, she's one of those black men ain't shit that women. Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, she is. These black men ain't shit. They fucked up the neighborhood. They fucked up everything. And women can do no wrong, kind of chick. And these are the type of chick. I mean, these are the type of chicks that if you if you're a black woman in a happy relationship with a black man, she gonna be hating in the background, calling you a mammy and bullshit. Like, really, chick, you you mad at this shit because she happy? What the fuck? Who who does this? And she got kids, so I think she has sons. I think maybe she do, maybe she not. I don't know, but yeah, um, that's gonna be a thing.
But yeah, I don't remember. Maybe I will have to go check out her catalog. But
I got her mixed up with the other Shantae that was a rapper.
Yeah, you got her mixed
But
up.
that was a back and forth response to another rapper, a male
You got her
rapper.
mixed up. Real Shante. You got her mixed up with the real Shante.
oh, so we're not talking about her.
It's
The real
like
Shantae.
two
Real Shante. I'm a hip hop head. The real Shante is light skinned out of the UTFO camp, and Roxanne Shante is dark skinned out of the Bismarck.
Oh, okay, wow. So you definitely know your stuff. Yeah, I'm not familiar with like you said, I just know that one song.
This what I'm trying to say. In this discussion, you ladies are not guys. And so, of course, you're not going to see it. Of course, you're not going to feel it. Let me give you another documented thing. Black males have the highest EEOC complaints for 4 decades. That's over 40 years of EEOC complaints. Okay. The reason why you don't have a bunch of women, as you say, or guys complaining is because those women look out for their flag country. If she's Filipino, she looks out for her Filipino males, whether they qualified or not. I speak a little bit of Gujarati, a little Indian, Pakistani dialect. Hey, if they're in the HR department, they don't care if those people are not even in the country yet. They're hooking them up. So when When black women were not in those positions, we didn't do that to them. We looked out for our sisters. We went and complained to our white bosses. Hey, I got a cousin that know how to type. She just finished typing school. So we don't. So to have the bailout conversation, if we're all being intellectual, I understand people hate males, hate black males with the passion because we learned that on the plantation. But if we're going to be very honest, then when black males were helping black women and white women were fooling black women with feminism, you march in the back. No, I don't know, Sarah. I don't even want to march with them black monkeys. This is stuff that was said to black women while they were holding up the feminist sign for surrogacy for white women because they wanted these women to go against black men. So these are the documented things I'm saying because we can make a speech. I'll be
Okay,
quiet.
but
Go
that
ahead.
could be okay, but that is that group, that particular those few. Not all of black women went to feminism. Now they took advantage of what feminism did, as far as opening job opportunities for them, but they did not join the feminist movement, so say. In fact, we have to be honest, it wasn't really meant for us. They just managed to talk those few women into joining them. Now a few could be like 1% across the country. I don't know, but I know that black women weren't joining the feminine movement like that. You know, as a whole. No, they just took
Dane, can you put Afro and Afro Sheen's comment up?
Let's just take that out of there, Mr. Frankel. Can we agree that it was black males documented helping black women before the right to vote? Can we agree on that?
Okay, let me skip through that. But yeah, it's basically um Mr. Reese saying black men were helping black women, and it it wasn't reciprocal. They're probably gonna. They were saying that yeah, they do, but it's like I think somebody said they're not in a position to help, which like I said before, I can't speak on if they stop black men from getting jobs. I know I interviewed with a few black women. One I got the job, and one I didn't. So, but like I said before, I've ran into some troubles with black women on the job. Just doing goofy shit. It's like trying to get attention, and then you ain't paying attention. Then they get mad, and I'm like, "What? You five? Like, don't you have a husband?" Yeah, it's kind of weird. Anyway, let me fast forward. There was something else I want to think of here. I'm trying to get to the point where Max joined. Max joined, and that's when it really got interesting.
Measuring that they do through the CDC, there is something for those people who are quote unquote lived in spouses. I don't quote that because, again, that goes into the red herring lane of whether you can prove it, whether you can't prove it. I stick to the actual marriages. So I will agree with you. I can't prove it. You can't prove it. It's kind of like saying, are these good marriages or bad marriages? So many times people come in our community and they want to talk about things that we can't measure. Is light skin better than dark skin? Look, you can't measure that. And to try to say that Miss Frankel needs to be responsible for whether good or best or great, that's an unfair.
Yeah, for a while, I did notice. Kept calling him Franco. I don't know if couldn't read it right. they corrected they corrected him later, but it was like a while before they actually corrected him. I'm like, it's Frankie, not Frank. Like, why do you keep calling him Franco? There's somebody else. Anyway, I'm trying to get to the part where Max came in. And that's when really got on and popping.
But
Okay, how is Taylor said I measure by what I see. She said I measure by what I see. Where I live, I see the majority of black men dating outside their race. Exactly, and I know that when you see, I mean, I don't know how statistically accurate experiences are, but when I see this, walking out of my door 24/7, I mean, I know it's not.
Yeah, the whole thing with the interracial dating, I think it's really just depending on where you are. Um, I know in the black neighborhoods you don't see it. Black people, black people. Now you see it more if you go into more of the uh, more urban areas. I know that, like when I used to live off of Westheimer, I used to go to HEB off of Westheimer in Kirkwood. And for those who know that lived in Houston, probably know what that HEB is. Yeah, I saw a lot of interracial couples: black men, black women, white women, black women with white men. I even saw black men with Latino women. I never did see any black women with Latino men. So, but yeah, if you go in Houston, if you go to different spots where there are a lot more white people, yeah, you're gonna see more interracial dating. But if you like more black, yeah, no, you're not gonna see it that much. Or if it's like some kind of hick town, uh, yeah, you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see it very much. Uh, and I usually go like to Walmart. Walmart, you'll see everything. One thing about Walmart, man, whatever you want, you will find it at Walmart. Fat, short, ugly, skinny, pretty, whatever, handsome, ugly, fat, whatever type of person you want, go to Walmart. You'll find them. But yeah, the interracial dating thing, yeah. I've seen it increase, but to say again, it's really just depending on the area. I don't think it's just like it's kind of hard to quantify the number. I think if I had to put a number on it, I would say 1 in 5. 1 in 5 couples will probably be an interracial couple. And if you go to black, there's gonna be 1 out of 8 9, maybe. Yeah, it really depends on the area. Some gonna be more than others. I think I think it increased probably, but to say that it's majority, nah, I don't think it's that. And I think this lady was talking about she in California. California, yeah. Of course, you got everybody there. Black, white, Puerto Rican, Mexican, every nationality is there. So all of them are gonna mingle. That's just the way it's gonna be. I mean, it's not necessarily a good thing, bad thing. I mean, it's not it's not really who they dating, it's who they marry. Who are they marrying? Who are they having children with? It's the more important thing. It's not really who they dating, because I mean, look, a lot of people casually date. People are screwing. Doesn't mean anything. But let's continue.
Statistically, quote unquote accurate, but it's what we see. So,
well, a lot of those statistics are outdated. A person who never leaves their county can see one thing throughout their whole entire lifetime.
Oh, I've traveled this entire country. Excuse me.
I'm not. All right, you got
I'm not stuck in my neighborhood.
Max,
Go ahead, Max. Sorry.
I'm not saying that you are talking about the top. Right, but you see, a lot of those statistics are outdated and are inaccurate. I got a question for you, though, Mr. Research.
You're talking about documentation.
Before you do that, you made a claim that they're outdated. So what are you saying that's outdated?
A lot of the CBC statistics are 10 years behind.
Oh, that's inaccurate. I would like for you to prove that.
That's true.
Okay, that's a speech. Where's
Yep, already. Already a battle. I'm like, already. He just got up there already challenging everything. Hilarious. Let me continue.
No, that's not a speech. That's true.
Show me one table. I know all the tables. Show
In
me
fact,
one table.
10 years. The 10 years. Give me something that is up to date.
The 2017, the 2017 that just came out a couple of years ago. So what are you talking about?
2017.
Again,
well, yes, that should be about 10 years behind. Yeah, they do these research things 10 years at a time because I learned that from a person that used to work for them and how they collect their statistics. They do them 10 years at a time.
Okay, sir, you're misquoting. I'm going to tell you what your 10-year thing is about. You're misquoting. So 10-year models, what you should look at.
I don't know how he can go misquote. He said he learned it from someone told him that's what it. Now, maybe the information could be wrong. What probably someone told him could have been wrong, but you can't say he misquoted if he's saying this is what somebody told me who used to work there. Now, again, the guy could have told him wrong, but I don't think that's a misquoting of it. It's just that's what he said. That's what he heard. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. All right.
For your totality of numbers. They do a 1-year sample every year. They do a 3-year sample. They tell you, and they do a 5-year sample. They tell you to find the best percentages because these are percentages. You should look at the year model. So respectfully to you.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you know how they gather this information?
You're okay to believe what you wish to believe.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of interrupting and talking over. This happens a lot. I'm not gonna go through all of it. This was at the 3-hour mark, and he was there for another 2 hours. I'm trying to get to the juicy part, but I thought this part was very interesting, and just to show how right off the bat it was it was combative right off the bat. So
right. But do you know how they gather this information?
Okay, you're okay to believe what you wish to believe, but you can't make a speech that something is not right. And then
right, I got you on that. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you a question. Do you know how they gather this information?
Yes, there are several ways that they gather the information. They gather much of the information through the Department of Justice, because the Department of Justice has to track filings. Everything, all filings in your city hall, your county gets put over to the DOJ. So the DOJ has a great deal of it. The other part of those sampling, depending on what it is the census. The census is a secondary major fact of what they track. And then the third and fourth depends on what you're tracking. Like it could be who receives what money in what county. Use other ways of tracking that. But the primary two are the Department of Justice filings, because they need real numbers. Anybody who's taken algebra class knows that you got to have real numbers.
Okay, so what are you basing your argument on? So I can be accurate here. What are you basing your argument on?
Documented facts everybody can pull up.
Documented facts about what though? What is the argument?
Sir, we just been talking about that the whole entire time.
I just came back in. What is the
Max,
argument?
I think what he's saying, because we were talking about like we were basically like piggybacking on what you said before you left, and how we were talking about like how males are always like, like conditioned to, be in love with other males, in an unhealthy manner that, that makes them like more loyal to men than they are to women. So like I had called in and told Dame that, if you're a hip hop head and you listen to rap, you will notice that a lot of these songs like DMX and Lil Boosie and Young Jeezy, they're always talking about like how some man betrayed them. And it's very strange and it's weird and it's gay.
Right,
So,
I agree with you.
Once we started talking about that, that's when Mr. Research called in and was basically saying like, well, hold on, because let's talk about, the things that black women have done and how black men have been advocating for black women for years. And this is what black women have done to them. Like, really? Because he brought up Roxanne, and I don't know which Roxanne is.
That was unique.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of insults and shit thrown his way. I'm like, wow, these people here. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that. There's gonna be a lot. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna do the whole video, but yeah, this won't be the first time he's been mocked and insulted, and so it goes on a lot. But let me listen a little bit more of this, and then I'm gonna skip ahead.
Please.
Excuse me?
No, I was just kind of thrown off how she was mocking my voice, but that's unique.
I want to ask you a question, Mr. Reed. You talked about black women being disrespectful, right? Where's your documentation on that? What document proof do you have of black women being disrespectful?
Sir, we already spoke about this, and I think what you have to do is
I came in.
Sir, respectfully, sir, it just appears as if you're not trying to have a discussion that.
Hey, I mean, he was asking because he probably didn't listen, and everybody's getting defensive.
You're trying to.
I'm asking you a question. I heard you say that black women are being disrespectful. I want to know, where is your documentation on that? Where are you getting that from?
Okay, number one, I never said the word disrespectful. So what sentence did you?
Actually, he did say disrespectful, so they were right about that. I went back and listened to it. He did say, I think the what he was saying in that is that when black women talk about like these statistics, they try to make that more the men are. I'd probably go back and listen to it. Probably more the men are doing interracial dating than they actually are, but they tried to put it as all the guys are doing it, and so that's when he was saying these women are hyping up and hyping up and overblowing a section of men and making it to seem like most of the men are doing interracial dating. And that's when he was saying that was disrespectful. He probably didn't even remember he said it. So that's what they were talking about here, and that's what they were talking about there. But if you say black women disrespectful with this group, oh no. No, that's the wrong word. I learned that personally.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
What sentence did I say that you guys say is disrespectful because you're?
Okay, let me go past this.
And I said I thought she had did more, and that was in response to a little combat that you said that was the wrong Shantae.
Okay, let me go. There was a part that I want to get to somewhere here. because I also wrote a note. This was talking about what
They do that. I know a lot of women right now who are
That
housing
is
children that do not belong to them.
very true.
Okay, I think it's right here. Now this was talking about what um what the men should be doing for children that are not theirs, and what the women should be doing. And Mr. Research was about they should be nurturing children and not theirs. Unfortunately, they took it the wrong way. They were talking about, what men should be doing, and he was saying what women should be doing. They took it as saying, well, women should be doing what the men doing is leading, and that. Let me just play it. Hold on.
You just said, sir, you just said that men should be fathering those sons that are not theirs, right? And I'm
Right.
asking you the second and last question, and I'm going to ask it again. What should women, let's take the profession out of it, what should women be doing for
You
Black
can leave the
sons
professionals into it.
in our community? No, it seemed like the professional threw you off, so I'm trying to make it easy.
Well, they do what they can if they can do something, but they shouldn't be doing anything because that's not up to them. We are the leaders of the community.
But
Not
the
the women.
women are not nurturers. Wait. But the women are not the nurturers. It's not up to them. It's not up to them,
Yes.
even though they're the
No,
nurturers.
it's not up to them. It's up to the leaders in the community. The men
Okay.
lead and run the community. The men are supposed to be the caretakers of the community. The women follow the men. It's not their job to get out there and do what a man is supposed to do.
Okay. It's not their job to be nurturers.
No.
Interesting. Yes, sir.
It isn't.
Yeah, that's where the confusion came in. They thinking that he's saying that the women should be leaders. He was saying that the women should just be nurturers. Um, it's, I think it was a confusion of. This was a confusion of words. I think probably if Mr. Research would have probably said it a little clearer, and maybe they would have listened a little more instead of being it would be a little more combative and not trying to hear than usual. I think they probably would have heard it and be like, now, would that probably change the answer? I don't know. But it's like, again, when you're criticizing women, a lot of women and some of the men, they get very defensive. Let's just listen.
We are the leaders. They
I
follow
had
us.
to leave. I had to leave, but Mr. Research, can you give me like a short synopsis of what you feel that Black women should have did or what they could be doing differently, so that you all will feel, leadership.
So here's one of my little CA solutions, and it's kind of like what.
How about this? This dude put on the StreamYard post. Sounds like he got caught in some child support shit. He sounds scared. That's a funny thing because Mr. Research did get caught up in some child support shit. He had to pay $56,000 for a kid that wasn't even his. So yeah, he did get caught up in some child support shit. The funny thing, it wasn't his kid though. So yeah, that was so. Kendall Rowland, you are not far from the mark on that one. I thought that was funny.
What the gentleman just said. Women are the nurturers. White women are the nurturers of their children. Asian women are the nurturers of their children. We have a lot of men like the gentleman who feels like women should have no no condition towards sons. That is all.
He doesn't believe that, but go ahead. He doesn't believe that, but go ahead.
Ma'am, he just said it out his own mouth. So
that's not true. That's go ahead.
So that's what he said, and to me,
what I said.
That's what the plantation taught us.
That's not what I said.
And
yeah, so what? Again, this was confusion of words. What Max was saying, that women shouldn't be leading in the community, because he thought that's what Mr. Research was saying, that women should be leaders. What Mr. Research was saying is they should be nurturers of all the children, even the ones that are not theirs. So this was like people hearing what they want to hear instead of actually listening to what was actually said. They're kind of remixing it in their own words. So
plantation didn't teach that. We were worked just as hard as the men, so the plantation didn't teach that, sir. We were treated as workhorses just like the men.
I'm not talking about work. I'm talking about for sons. For sons. Topic is sons. So I just believe that. But
women are conditioned. Okay, let me.
Women. I'm trying to answer a question. I believe that women should do the same identical thing that the gentleman said that men should be doing. Women are nurturers.
No, sir.
And I'm trying to answer, sir. And for people to say that women should not be nurturers toward black sons, that's part of our problem. But go ahead.
No one said anything. First of all,
absolutely,
you twist
that is a problem.
No one said that. First of all, what I'm saying is,
go ahead, Max.
What I'm saying is, it is not the woman's job to lead the community. That is the man's job. It is the man that is supposed to lead and provide the proper.
Again, that's a confusion of words. Mr. Research didn't say anything about women leading. He just said being nurturers. So, like I said, it's people listening to it and putting their own spin on it. So,
to all children, boys and girls, the women are the nurturers. They nest in the environment. They're not supposed to get out here and lead a community. The men are. You're asking women to be in the position. You're asking women to take the position.
What are women supposed to do for sons? And you said nothing.
No, I said that they are not supposed to get out in the community and do what men are supposed to be doing. Men are supposed to lead the community. It's the men's job to make sure.
I'm asking about women. What are they supposed to do? You keep talking about men. What are the women supposed to do?
The women are supposed to do what they're doing now. They are nesting in the environment and nurturing the children in their homes. Now, if they have, and women have done this, they have opened up their homes to other children. I've seen women do this. A lot of black women do this. They've opened up their homes to other children. They do that. I know a lot of women right now.
Which is true. They have women that do that. You got women who run schools. They open shelters. I think one in Houston. Dang, I wish I forgot the name of that shelter. That this is a black woman that runs it. What is the name of that shelter? Dang, I can't think of it now. But yeah, women have been helping the community. So it's not like I think Mr. Research position on it, it's not enough of the women do it. And I would agree with that, but I also agree there's not enough men to Max and the other people here's point is that there's not enough men being leaders of the community. It's not enough. And I will also say that both on both sides of the equation, they're not supported like they should be by the community. You know, you got these people who's doing all this stuff for others, but when it's time for support, they kind of left home in the bag. And then, some people support them here and there, but as a whole, the community doesn't really support the people like they should. So, to both people's point, yes, the men should be leading, the women should be nurturing. Uh, both do it, but it's like I said, it's not enough. Like I said, Mr. Research put it at 20%. I tend to put it at 25 because I'm following the 100% model. 25% of the men and women are doing what they can for the community. It's just that you got another 75. They may help. 50% may help, may not help, depending on their mood, what happened in their lives. And then there's just 25% say they don't give a fuck and trying to undermine it. So you have that going on. But let me continue.
Or housing children that do not belong to them.
Very true.
Okay. But the quiet is kept. Quiet is kept. They're not supposed to be doing that. The men are supposed to be leading the community. You see, if the men were leading the community properly, there would be no need to be asking what the women should be doing.
That's what I was going to say, Max. My thing is, like, you keep saying, like, well, this is what the women are supposed to be doing. There are nations all around the globe who basically care not what the woman is going to do because she's almost a non-factor. They don't care. They're going to build their society. They're going to, build a way of life that suits them, and the women just follow suit. There's not a single race on the planet. There's not a single race on the planet that is sitting around talking about what is the woman going to do because those men don't care what those women are going to do.
We're not talking about building. You're changing the topic. We're talking about sons. You're talking about building. We're talking about sons.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, so building and sons, you think are synonymous.
But that is your personal responsibility. That is your first of all, that is your personal responsibility. Overall, that's your personal responsibility. You are definitely supposed to see to your sons.
Yes,
don't get me wrong. Of course, the woman is supposed to nurture him and make sure that he feels love. But as a man, you're supposed to make a way for your son in his life. You're supposed to find a niche and an outlet for your son, whether I'm loving and nurturing him or not.
We're not talking about a bloodline son. You ladies were talking about guys and how they relate to each other when they have more love for each other. You guys keep changing it back to an anecdotal parent-son situation. We're talking about boys across the board. And I'm not trying to change your mind.
Black women do help boys. Black women do help a lot of boys.
I just don't understand where these black women don't help boys kind of thing. There's a very
black women. You have black men taking boys, and you have.
Yeah, that was also thing that was put on the streaming. That's called the coddle. And they're gonna get into that a little later about coddling. It's like they were trying to equate coddling with nurturing. Those are two different things. But I'll get to the point and then I'll give my thought on that.
Black women out here counseling boys.
You have black women out here coddling men and making sure that they're not in the streets getting murdered. Black women are literally coddling men to the point to where they don't even have to make a way for themselves because we're too busy scared that they'll get killed. So we're coddling them. Don't get me wrong. I know that that's a bit counterproductive. But how are black women not nurturing boys? If anything, black women are nurturing boys too much. Like, I don't
You even
understand
got black
where
women.
this is coming
You
from.
even got black women. You even got black women bailing young boys out of jail.
All I can
Now, let me get to that part because that was a important part. I think we confuse nurturing with coddling. Now, let me give you a little definition of coddling and nurturing. Nurture is to care for, encourage the growth of development, or help or encourage development. Coddle is treat in an indulgent or overprotective way. So to say that you can over nurture someone, no, you can never over nurture someone because you're caring for someone. Unless you say you care too much, you can never encourage people too much unless you're encouraging them to the wrong path. Now that's where the nurturing can go wrong. You're encouraging them to the wrong path. You can encourage them to be softy, but you can never, unless it's in the wrong path. Other than that, you can't over nurture someone. Now you can coddle people too much. That is very destructive. Like I said, treating an indulgent or indulgent matter, aka they was also saying, aka pamper. Pampering somebody sometimes is great. It should be used as a treat. Like, you give some extra candy to a person for some good work. But when you talking about overprotective, like you're blocking them from something. Coddling stunts people's development. Nurture doesn't. Now you can nurture them into the wrong thing, but coddle, yeah, you too much coddling. Yeah, you got some of these dudes now they getting coddled. Hell, my brother was coddled. And the problem is when women tend to coddle these boys or their boyfriends and then turn around and want them to be men, how they gonna be men? I remember in particular my mother. Uh, my brother was on drugs, so he never developed into being a responsible man. And my mother brought them live with us. And I was paying my part of rent. My mother was paying the car note because we only had one car at the time. I'm paying the rent, the lights, the phone bill, TV. Didn't ask for no help, nothing like that. Just that, I'll just pay the car note and just pay the car note. That's it. That's all I need you to do. So my brother can only get like little jobs here and there. And my mother was mad because she's like, why he don't give no more money? Don't he know he had to have? I had to tell my mother. I said, Mama, listen, you called him. You never tell him how to be productive, how to be a responsible person. You just been calling this. You've been enabling him to be a bum. So he don't know. But he's over for. Dude, you've been calling him all his life. What you expect? He never like at the time. My brother never been married. I was, so I had to learn real quick. I had to be responsible. I had to learn how to pay the bills on time and all that. Um, my mother ingrained that into me. Yeah, I got to pay this rent. When I was living with my mother, she ingrained that in me. She didn't do that with my brother. So when I got married, first thing we had to do pay the rent, pay the lights. That's it. That's the main thing. Everything else, oh well. two varying degrees of success for me, but my brother never had that. So you can't turn around and then be like, well, this is well, he needs to do this. I'm like, mama, one, you understand he ain't got that much money. Child support was kicking his ass. He was in the rear so bad, shit. He probably, literally, I mean, he was probably making, he worked maybe 8 hours a day, probably only get like $100 a day. So shit. And you take child support in that mix, oh shit, he's working on pennies of the dollar, man. And I had to tell her, and he had his own cell phone. He had to pay that. He needs a break. I'm like he need to have some money so he can have a break to himself. Can't just take all his money. Then what he gonna do? He gonna be sitting in the house looking at you crazy. I'm like, no, man, he need to get out. He need a break. So I'm like, no. Well, he need to pay you more. I said, Mama, look, if I asked for more, I would. I don't. I know what he has. I know what he can pay and what he can't pay. That you can't you can't you can't get you can't squeeze the orange and then expect to get more juice after a squeezed orange. It's just not gonna happen. So so I do agree with Melanie Misfit on that one. There were a lot of females who coddle their kids, their boyfriends, even their husbands. But then want to turn around and say, I need you to be a man. That doesn't work that way. If he ain't a man when he walk in that door, he ain't gonna be one. If you don't require him to be a man from the jump, if you don't raise him to be a responsible man from the jump, good luck. Good luck. And here's the killer. They rebel. When you get into these kind of mother-son relationships with your boyfriend and your husband, you know what many times they're gonna do? Cheat on you. Hell, one of the most outlandish cheating is when dudes are in that position where they being treated like a son. They being coddled. They're gonna rebel, just like a teenage boy will rebel from their mother. They go and rebel, and usually most times it's cheating. Sometimes it's domestic abuse. Oh yes, how do I know? I was one of those guys who got coddled myself from my ex-wife when I wasn't having nothing. Then she would want to turn around and say, "Hey, do this, Amanda." What? So now, for anybody, I did not abuse my ex-wife. I would never hit a woman. I would not just hit a woman because I'm angry. I'd rather walk away, I'll run away, drive away before I do any of that. But that rebelling part, yeah, I was doing that. I'm not gonna lie, I was doing that. And it wasn't even like cheating. That didn't really come till towards the end of the marriage. Uh, you know, just being an asshole, being not doing dishes or stuff like that. So it's just petty stuff that, like I said, if I had a shit together, which once I did, kind of stopped doing that shit. But like I said, when you coddle people, especially women, when you coddle guys, they're going to rebel, and it's usually going to, especially in these relationships where you are the You the one as a breadwinner and stuff like that. Oh, that's a bad relationship to be in. Very bad. And so I understand what she's saying, what Melanie Misfit is saying about women coddling these boys. But Mr. Research was saying that nurturing, like I said again, nurturing is care for and encourage the growth and development of a person. That's way different than coddling. And you can never encourage someone too much unless you're encouraging them in the wrong direction. You can always coddle too much.
I don't think some of this conversation, I think, is a narrative. So there are parts of this that I agree with you guys, but I think that what's going to end up happening, and I kind of predict it, this hatred for black males is going to go so huge that the black males are going to turn. And not the black males that are currently 20 and 30, the children. Because even right now, the boy children are saying that they're so horrified by the behavior of a lot of situations that people defend. And the boys don't want to be involved. You guys can say I'm wrong. People can call me.
Yeah, well, he was saying that these guys are going to rebel. I can see that. I can see that happening because there's a lot of shit going on in these communities that is not favorable to these boys. And and it's like they going in they just you see it even now. They don't give a damn about the community. They don't give a damn about helping people. I mean, look, if you look, let's just look at SYSBM. That is a shining example of what Mr. Research is talking about. That group right there, along with the MGTOWs, the red pills, that is a shining example of guys rebelling against the community because they feel like they don't have a place here. They feel like they're not heard, no one cares, and it's like it, they being blamed for every fucking thing that's happened, which is like like I I I don't like when women do that. I don't like when the community does it, blaming the men for every fucking thing. Relationship going wrong, man fault. Uh, the neighborhood's fucked up, man's fault. The white man foot in the neck, man fault. It's like, damn, men can't catch a break. So, so I get what he's saying, and yeah, and they didn't take that too well. listen, listen.
I'm just here for life discussion with a different point of view. But
Yeah, good luck. That went out. That shit went out the window.
think what's going to happen is the proof is going to be in the pudding. The children are going to see all this disrespect, as many of them have already done. They're not going to want to be involved. I'm talking about the boys, though. But go ahead.
But you see what you understand is that's your fault. You created this environment.
And while you're talking about they're going to see all this disrespect, what about the disrespect that black women are seeing? Do you realize it took almost 10 years for people to show their hatred for black women to finally stand up and say, you know what, okay, I hate you too? Because we couldn't believe that there was there was this mass of men who looked just like us, who hated us, who wanted us to die, who felt that we deserved to be impoverished and have absolutely nothing. It took almost 10 years for us to be like, oh, okay, I didn't know you hated us this much.
And and again, that's a small number of men. I mean, if you're going by online, yeah, you would think, God damn, all these men hate women. I'm like, no, it's a small number. Matter of fact, look, there's a big battle even in the black manosphere. That all even within these SYSBM, the red pill, MGTOW, the Egmont, there's a big battle between how to treat their women. So it's really, if you really think about it, it's really a small number. I mean, compared to what 80% of the men, look, it's only a small number of guys who's saying this shit. That's why I said these groups are not your biggest problem. Yes, they're the loudest on the mic. I get that. Just like on the women's side, these ratchet chicks are the loudest on the mic. We listen to them way too goddamn much. I'm like, we listen to these folks way too goddamn much, and then you paint it on everybody. Everybody's not like this. 25% of women love black men. 50%, 50% of the women can go either way. It just depends on where they at in life, their age, their looks, their job. I mean, it's there's 25% that just they ain't shit. They don't think men are shit. They just shitty people. There's nothing you can do for them. Just like with the guys, there's 25% of the guys who are great, perfect. They're the leader of the community. They want to help black women. They are like Max in the sense of they love black women to death. But the difference between them and Max to the degree is they also recognize, yeah, some of these women are not perfect. They can do wrong. Now there's reasons for it, but they can do wrong. And we, and like I said, 50% of the men, they can go either way. They can hate women one day, but then they get that awakening, or they get some peace in their life, and they just like, yeah, she probably was a bitch today, but she probably had a bad day. I'll let it slide. But if she doing that every fucking day, no, nah, she just a mean ass bitch. Fuck that bitch. But on the whole, most black men are gonna get with black women. Yeah, they have their complaints, but they're not gonna get on the mic and be complaining about women 24/7. They ain't gonna do that. Meanwhile, you got 25%, which you add in the SYSBN, the red pills, the MGTOWs, the Inkmores, and the black pills. Which, for me, I'm kind of a black pill. If I don't want to assign myself to a pill, I'm a black pill. I'm like, I see the world is fucked up. It is what it is. I'm not gonna bitch about it 24/7. It's just, hey, it is what it is. Don't I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna worry my life over it. But that's what it is right now. And you got a lot more people who's just messed up right now, and they're trying to find their way. And it takes a while. You know, most men don't get to be in that mature level until they're in their 30s. Most women don't get to be in that mature level until their 30s either. And then there's some that just they'll never grow out of whatever they are. That's just the way it is. So, but to paint it as all these men and well, they hate us, so we gonna hate them. You're talking to a small group of men. It's a small group. It ain't like all these men hate you. Like, it's not like that. Same with the women. It's not like all these women hate you. So a lot of them are disappointed, especially you get and this is your first time getting on YouTube and you hearing all this shit, and your first experience is like a Tommy Sotomayor, a Tommy Sotomayor. Holy shit! You'll be thinking, what the fuck? All these niggas are fucked up. But no, not the case. But let's hear her continue her rant.
We hate you too. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate black men or anything like that. I love my boys, I love my father, and I love my brother. But you all as a collective, I mean, you did this to yourselves. So like, why are you getting mad about an environment that you could have totally controlled and you refuse to do something about it?
No, ma'am, I came up here to say.
Nah, I'm kind of going to be different about that. To say that they can control it, that's a little disingenuous because, like I said, that crack really hit. The war on drugs really hit. So when that happened, there was a lot of things that was going against us, against black men, that any other race of people, any other race of men, they had to go through what black men had to go through. Well, let's just see white men. Shit. If white men were going with what black men went, they been blew up the White House. Matter of fact, hell, they blew up the federal building. There wasn't no terrorists. That's a white dude. White boys been going around these school shooters, just shooting up everybody because they getting picked on. You don't see a black dude doing that. At least until very recently. Yeah, they might shoot up another dude, black dude, but you don't see a black dude going around just shooting up everybody until very recently, and that was only against cops. You know, it's just so I'm kind of gonna be like, no, this ain't no yet where we just let it happen. No, they didn't just let it happen. There was a lot of shit that happened. Now, ultimately, could they have done better? Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I would agree with Max on that. But to say that they just let the shit happen, no, there was a lot of shit that went into why black men got into the position that they are. There's a lot of shit that happened that I think is missing in that discussion. Now, again, I agree with you. Some of these dudes act like it's the women's fault. They did this. It was the women. The women is nothing but the women. You know, there was a lot of shit that was done to the community, and particularly to you, black men. And you know, like I said on the panel, I went into that thinking that too. But I had to backtrack when I really thought back to everything that happened. I'm like, no, a lot of it wasn't the women's fault. There was a lot of shit that happened to you, and we have to recognize that. But that's just me. I try not to put it as it's all the men's fault. There's a lot of shit that happened that they were fighting. And if other racist men went through what we went through, even the African men, if they would have went through what we went through these past 400, even within the past 40 years, hell, fuck 40, 20 years. Well, let's just look at the opioid crisis. White men losing their shit. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Black men haven't got to that point yet. That's what I think. That's like why these white boys are scared of. That black men really, they gonna act like they act. just coming in and shooting up white folk. Back. Black man, we ain't got to that point yet. We haven't, and it's only very, very small number of these guys beating on black women, shitting on black women like that. And I know online, but again, online, bunch of broken people. You get a bunch of broken people, they just say any fucking thing. They do any fucking thing. They attack women, they ain't bothering them. I'm like, she's on your side. Why are you attacking her looks? Why are you attacking the fact she... there's a lot of shit online that it make you be like, well, fuck these niggas. I would, and look, I'd be with you. I'd be like, fuck these niggas. These dudes a piece of shit. But the painting on that's your reason to hate all black men. Nah, come on.
And I'll say it again, that no, we did not initiate all that. It was a lot of women who initiated
That's
this
not
stuff.
true.
No, sir.
Yeah,
No, sir. No, sir.
That's not
No,
true.
sir.
You had your ability to say it on the mic. So I'm just saying, it's a lot of women.
Somebody wrote on that the children are watching. Hey, to that lady, look, the children they've been left. They like, fuck. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. A lot of them, the new generation, they like, fuck this community. We out. They don't give two fucks. The boys and the girls, they like, we don't give two fucks. Like, we gonna do us. Fuck that black pride bullshit. Fuck that black women pride. We gonna do us. Fuck it. Everybody for themselves and God for us all. Sorry, the children. So the children watching. Too late for that, sis. Too late for that.
Who created these scenarios? Because these dudes, a lot of them were very loving dudes. These dudes were very pro-black. These dudes were very pro-family.
Okay, my favorite person out of all this, Miss Lucy. Oh man, Lucy. I love Lucy because Lucy remind me of one of my female supervisors. She did not give two fucks, but if she liked you, she will support you to the utmost. But you cross her, that's your ass. She gave no problems letting you know. She will fuck you up. And not always with fighting, but with that paper. I mean, it was, oh man. Wow, 2 hours. God damn. Anyway.
Oh yeah, he's now okay. You're talking about we're not.
Let me say this.
Now you're making up shit.
Let me say this.
No,
This happened
You're making up shit now.
This happened because the black man is too afraid to be a leader in the midst of adversity. He's afraid to face his enemies. He's allowed the enemies to commandeer his environment and brutalize his women. You cannot blame them for not having any respect for you because you don't protect them.
Once again, I partially agree with you on that. Yes, sir. See, I'm very honest about what you're saying, sir, because I will admit when it's valid. The thing is, some of you, or the two of you, are on the idea of women have no responsibility in discussion. I've said 4 times that when this gentleman speaks, yes, sir, I agree on that. Yes, sir, 80% of these dudes are backwards. But you guys still have the stance, you too. You have the stance that women are doing nothing wrong. They have nothing to be rebutted on, and that everything they do is in perfect coordinates with the earth. I'm telling you.
My issue is that
if you don't
I think it's counterproductive and it's dismissive when you look at your condition and you don't look at the big picture and realize that you're in the place that you're in, and you pick low hanging fruit, quote unquote, Black women as the reason and as the scapegoat as to the reason why you're in the condition that you're in. You cannot blame, the prisoner for the prison condition.
Right.
If you're not going to look at your real enemy, then you can't say anything to us. Don't get me wrong. Of course, Black women fall short, and there's many, many things that we could be doing, but we're doing the best that we can. We're the most educated. Every Black woman I know loves the hell out of her children, her sons, her daughters, whoever. And I don't see Black women falling short. The only thing I see Black women doing is bigging up and coddling men that hate us. So if there's anything that we should be changing, it's that.
Right, and you have to understand something too, right? You're the leader of these environments. If you don't set the standard in your environments and you allow things to take place that are a detriment to the people that live in your environment, you cannot blame them from doing wrong. You allowed it to happen.
Like I said, your sons who are growing up right now are going to be the testament that everything you guys are saying is incorrect, because your sons are going to say, hell no, not going to be involved, because look at that action over there. And you're going to say, but she's Black too. And it's going to be too late.
Not my
that is your...
Yeah, so yeah, you saw that how they went a far chase. Well, no, the women are not perfect, but the women are doing the best they can. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Well, they do the best they can, but like they say, your best ain't good enough. Sometimes your best is just not good enough. So, same with the guys. I'm like, well, we're doing the best we can. Yeah, well, bro, I'm gonna have to break it to you. The best ain't good enough. You're gonna have to try a different way. Hate to break it to you, bro. Your best ain't good enough. You might have to try a different way. I'll be right back. Give me a minute. All right, I'm back. I had to get something. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, they're like, it's all the Black man's fault. Black women are perfect. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to go that way. Say they're not entirely without fault. And yes, do they coddle certain men too much that hate them? Yeah. But again, whose fault is that? That's their fault, because you're trying to make someone into something they're not. They're trying to make their boyfriend or whatever into a man when he's not. And yeah, that coddling thing, they do that in relationships. You're doing too much. You can't make somebody into something they're not. If he ain't a man when he met you, he's not gonna be a man, because a man's gonna be a man regardless. Man's gonna be a man regardless, whether you there or not. And if you're not there, it ain't gonna matter. He's gonna be a man when he met you. He's gonna stay a man when you leave. Yeah. A dude who ain't a man, if he's not a man when he met you and you staying around, you're an enabling. You're an enabler. You're not helping. And some women can't differentiate because they're going by lust, his looks, his swag, but not by his character and how he's going to be a family man. So let's see here.
Let me say this. I'll say this one last thing.
Let everybody use the microphone. Let everybody use the microphone.
Do. Okay.
Sir. Just keep interrupting. You and her.
Yeah, you see Mr. Richard's kind of getting, he's trying to tell, hey, let's share the mic. But, that's again, well, not again, but dude, this not your platform though. So it's like, and Max, I like Max, but Max do tend to have a habit of interrupting people. I don't know if he does it intentionally. I don't think he's not even aware of it, but he do that. Especially if something they don't like. He don't like it, yeah, he's gonna cut in. He don't give two fucks. So let me move this along.
I've both been talking. All I'm saying is,
let me move this along because then I'm gonna go.
You're as a black leader, you have to wear that. The result of their behavior is your result as a failed black leader in your communities. They don't respect anything because you don't respect anything. They don't adhere to anything because you don't put anything down that they should adhere to.
They're blaming women because you're blaming women.
You do not father them. You do not take care of them. You disrespect their mother. First of all, boys love their mothers. They feel some kind of way when they see their mothers being disrespected. You talk about disrespect, they see it coming from you.
Can I ask you something, man? You said they're not going to want to be involved with black women. So who they going to want to be involved with?
Like, okay, let me go past that. Trying to get to where Lucy came in and dropped the pipe bomb and left. Let's get into that part. Let's see. There's something else I want to.
No, you're splitting hairs now.
You're trying to compare.
I want to know what percentage of black men you think are good. You said what, 30% of black women are good, 20%, right?
But
I'm not sure where you're getting that number from. So since we're throwing out numbers, what percentage of men you think are good?
I said that 3 times, and it shows that you're not listening to. I said that 3 times.
I didn't hear it.
And all the questions you were asking.
You said that 3. I didn't hear it one time.
I don't think you wanted to hear it, sir.
No, I just didn't hear it.
Okay, let's move on, man. I don't.
I would like to know. I would like to know.
Well, since we're moving on,
hold on.
Go ahead, Rosie. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead, Rosie.
Past that. There's a part I want to look at. Shoot, where is it? Okay, there was a part. This is just back and forth. Blah, 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 blah.
Issues too. I love black women. Everybody know. But I'm not going to sit here and act like black women are sugar and spice and everything nuts. You feel what I'm saying? But I mostly put the blame on the men. That you feel what I'm saying? Black women takes the blame, but I feel like the majority of the blame goes on the men, because I feel like us as black men, we should teach our black, because remember you said that you adore black women, right? How many? I don't know if your father taught you to adore black women. He probably did. I don't know if he did or not. My father never taught. My father wasn't in my life. He was in and out of jail. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like our black men need to teach our black boys to adore black women. You feel what I'm saying? And we're not doing that. We're calling women bitches and hoes and saying, don't love them. Just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's mostly due to the fact it's the black man. Black women play a part. Well, hold up. I don't do the talking over thing.
At least Rosie was able to at least be agreeing on that. That's why I come with that. It's like, yeah, yes, black men are doing some fucked up shit, but women do play a part. They're more or less they're not helping because it goes back to who you're picking. They're picking dudes. Now you can make the argument, well, they're picking the best out of the worst. Not necessarily. I think, yes, some of them are, but that don't account for the others who not picking the best out of the worst. They just picking who they're attracted to. So it's more of an attraction thing than we're just picking the best out of the worst.
I'll let you go. You hear me? Black women, right? A lot of black women are anti-black men because a lot of black women suffer from self-hatred. You know, they've been affected by this Caucasian system. You feel what I'm saying? We've been raised to hate blackness. You know what I'm saying? And I've been calling out black women who are anti-black men. I can't stand them broads. I love black women. I love black people. I'm black first. Period. I'm black first. I want us to rise. So I'm for the black unity. You feel me? So when it comes to this community shit, I put majority of the blame, not all of the blame on black men, but the majority of the blame on black men. Do you feel me? Yeah,
yes, yes, Roz, I do feel you. And thank you, Ms. Franco, for allowing us to have a conversation in a polite way. I appreciate it. I do feel you, Roz. I just want to ask you this question, though, because this is what befuddles a lot of dudes. Okay? We tell dudes to do that for our loved, honored sisters. Okay? But then those dudes go out and they see majority of those sisters against black males. How long can we keep holding these guys to the theory of put the women first if so many dudes will keep coming with examples of I got betrayed, I got this done happened to me, I got that happened to me. And I understand because I tell the dudes, it's because we don't have a flag like Nigerians do. It's because we don't have a language like Filipinos do. We don't have nothing that ties us to remind our woman, hey, that's my Lagos brother. Even though we had a disagreement, let me not blow it up and damage the image of Lagos. That's my Ghana brother. Even though we disagree, no, unfortunately, many are like, I'm an independent. I think only for myself. But here's the problem. You're always going to come back to the black community, the ADOS, when you need help. When the enemy attacks you, you always come back to us. So why have this independent thing? So Roz, my question is, how can we keep teaching boys to do that if nobody's on the women's side? Because you heard the other gentleman say he don't believe women need to help sons at all. They just fend for themselves, and the men are responsible for helping the women, the boys. And the there you go again. I'm just repeating what the brother said. And they have no responsibility. Our women are supposed to be nurturers, right? So educate me, because I'm going to be quiet. How do we get boys to do that? Because they're going to feel like attacking us when we're handcuffing them to an idea where the women are disrespecting them and attacking them and stopping them from working.
Rosie, can I respond before you?
See, if you respond, right, I'm going to forget a lot of the shit you said.
Okay, so go ahead then. Right. Yes, I will.
Yeah. I'm going to forget, man. I'm a fucked up memory. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That is a good point, and I kind of agree with that. It's uh, it's kind of hard to tell a dude, care for the woman, all this, and you got women who just being disrespectful. But on the other end, it's kind of hard to tell these women, hey, honor your black man. When you got goofball motherfuckers up here messing with these, they ain't bothering them and all that kind of garbage. So it's like, how do you teach people to honor and respect the community when the community don't honor and respect them? It's just gonna turn. That's what you have in. A lot of these swirlers, a lot of these guys, SYSBM, that's just people who just been disrespected by the community to the point where it's like, fuck fuck these niggas, fuck these bitches. I'm gonna get me a white boy. I'm gonna get me a white girl. I'm gonna go get me a Latina. I'm gonna get me a Latin dude. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna yeah, just bullshit. How do you rectify that? It's gonna have to start with who you. It goes back to. I hate to go back to dating, but it's going to go back to who are you choosing? Who are you seeking? Because if you're not seeking the type of person that's respectful to women or to men, and you're just picking somebody because they look good, they got swag, they got nice ass and titties, they got you want to see what that penis will do, you're gonna miss that part of their personality. That chick might be a 10, but she hates dudes. She's willing to set up motherfuckers. She gonna take you to you get married to this chick. She taking you to clean. Hell, you ain't get to get married. She having your baby just to take all your money. You with a dude. He's he's uh he's trying to drop a baby in you and then bounce. I mean, it's stuff that you gotta. It's sadly people are not asking these questions. They're not asking what these people's intention with each other is. Because if you're not asking them, because it's difficult questions. Those are difficult questions. You don't want to. How many people going to ask some of these questions? But let me continue. I'm trying to get to the part where Lucy came in and threw pipe bomb brand.
Now, oh shit, man. Yo, what you Mr. Research, what you asked was a good question. You feel me? It was a good question. I don't think I don't think men should put women first. I think you feel what I'm saying? You said shit, man. I'm trying to get it together. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it together.
While you're trying to, I want to say this, and
That is it's a tough thing to answer. I'm kind of the same way. I don't think you should put women first. I think you put yourself first before everything. Make sure you straight first. Then you can make sure women in your life, whatever women you are in your life, can be straight. As I said before, you can't have a broken man. You can't expect a broken man to protect a neighborhood. He's not going to do it. He's either going to overdo it and get y'all fucked up, or he's not going to do it at all. So either way, you're fucked. That's just the end be all of it.
know this is going to be contrary to what he believes in. I'm going to say this, okay, when he says, like, okay, all these Black boys are not feeling nurtured by Black women, and they're not feeling that, that loving spirit. The problem is the man being absent. I know that, single parenting is never, a good idea because children need to feel love from both sexes. They need to know how it feels to be loved, with a healthy love from a man and a woman. But the part of the reason that boys go to gangs, and when we were talking about the rap songs, I need to feel love from my homies and my niggas need to have my back and all that shit. A father, an active, present father, can relinquish all of that shit. So the fact that you can say this, but never point the finger at Black males and say, you know what, they should have stayed in the home. Of course, women are supposed to be nurturing their children. I have one girl and 3 boys. My daughter was treated like a princess, and I love the hell out of my boys. My boys are, I've kind of gotten out of that coddling stage because I know that if I keep doing it, that they're not going to be, the type of men that they should be. I don't know any women that don't nurture their boys. Like, so, and if boys are looking for that male figure, that, that masculine energy, then it still needs to go back to Black men abandoning their children. You don't get to say, oh, well, these boys are feeling like this and they're feeling like that because their mamas are not doing this and their mamas are not doing that. Well, maybe she's overwhelmed because she's working and the father is not there. I don't know a lot of boys who chose gang life and who chose the street when they had a father. This goes back to Black men abandoning their children. If your son is looking for nurturing and looking to be fulfilled, they would do well getting fulfilled by a masculine energy, AKA their father, to make them feel validated and loved.
And this just proves that Misfit is not at the front lines of what's going on. She has an ideology, which I'm not saying doesn't happen in her world. The majority of the guys, it's not that easy. There are government and systematic things happening, like father of record, which is a law that Misfit has no idea is even going on. She's nowhere close to
Black men from being in their children's lives.
She's nowhere near the male world to even know that stuff goes on. So she stays in this fantasy of it's that easy. But please, I'll address that after. I want to make sure Roz finishes his thing though.
Go ahead.
Right. Okay, so who? Yo, you asked me a tough question, bro. You know what I mean? So that was a tough one. I believe the woman, because you say so many Black women are anti-Black.
Mr. Richard, I just don't understand why is it so difficult for you to comprehend the fact that Black men are looking for outside masculine love from other men. They're not getting it from their own fathers. I don't even understand how is that even hard.
I don't think you have empathy, Misfit. You just are you keep saying the same thing over and over again. And what I'm trying to tell you as a person with testicles who's been out here in the streets, it is not that easy of an answer. And Roz is proving that right now. But you, Miss Misfit, you don't want to listen to the empathy that some brothers are asking you to hear, because it's hard for you to ask somebody to do these type of things when there are systems in place that allows people to weaponize and misuse the system. While Mr. Roz speaks, please, Misfit, go look up the term father of record and ask yourself, why is father of record an actual law that women use to weaponize against males? And then when Mr. Roz finishes, you can discuss legalities, because you clearly don't understand what God.
I think that was done. I don't think Roz ever answered.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question, man. All I can say, I don't know how to answer that question.
And that's where the problem lies. We don't have an answer because it's not an easy answer. How do you teach these? I'm gonna say men and women. How are you gonna teach men and women when all they see is a lot of disrespect between each other? How are you going to tell this brother Oh, love your sister, love your black woman. When you see her doing all kinds of crazy shit to men, how you gonna tell that sister to love her brother when you seen dudes doing all kinds of crazy shit to women? That's a tough question, and it's been going on and on and on for years. You got broken kids coming out of broken homes. No daddy. Mama ain't shit. Mama probably could be a good mother if she had help, but she's out working. She's not there. How you going to tell that woman, love your man, be a family woman when she was never there was no model of a family to be had? How you gonna tell that guy to be a husband when he's never seen any man be even treat their own mother with respect and see a mother treat any man with respect? That's very hard to try to teach that. It's hard to teach it. It's hard. That's why you got pump and dump. That's why you got chicks saying, I don't need no man. It's not that they don't need no man, it's that they're scared of being used. They want control. And they'll use any means: money, sex, drugs, uh, fame, fortune, whatever they got in their disposal to try to control each other with no success. And at the end of it all, they just end up alone. More angry, more bitter. They're having kids, they're still angry, they're still bitter. They have no connections with the people they're having children with. And it is a tough answer. It's not something that you can fix overnight. It's not something that the men can just fix on their own. Because even if they try to fix it, you still got some bitter women out here that's going to rile against it. You got some women out here that will try to fix it. But you got some men that are going to go after them just because they looked at that girlfriend, or they're going after that man because he looked like that dude that dumped him. He looked like my daddy. He looked like my mama. It's not an easy fix. It's not easy. And both sides, I'm going to disagree with Max again. Both sides have a part to play in it, regardless of the reason. Both sides have a part to play in it, and both sides are going to have to play a part to clean it. And it all starts again back to who you're choosing, who you seeking, who you're listening to. If people, black people in particular, really was cognizant of who they're listening to, who they're choosing, who they choose to mate with, a lot of this stuff would be cleaned up. You wouldn't be having all these babies and daddy ain't there. You wouldn't have to be going to go file for child support because the husband, that man that you chose, would be there for you because you chose a man who wanted to be a father. That's what it is. We're not choosing people right. So let me go back to get past that. I'm trying to get to where Lucy was here, and I never could catch her.
Part of your collective, because these boys need to have an impression, kind of like what the other gentleman said before he left, that guys need to do for boys. So you do have some women, 20-30% of women who do great things for sons. I will say it for a fourth time. Yes, they do some great things, but there's a large percentage that don't. So the solution, Roz, is those women, when they're in positions, It's just not a women only conversation. When they get
okay, so why are black men not doing things for sons?
my darling, can I answer? When they get on the microphone, political situations like Stacey Abrams, it can't be a women only did it. It can't be a divide conversation of women, 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 because if men did that, you would say it's patriarch and you would say it's against black women. So we got to be able to see it in the reverse mirror, Roz. When women are doing that, making it a woman only conversation, you're not helping black sons. You're defending these dudes when they get killed. I agree. For the third time, I agree. But a lot of these other scenarios, you're trying to make it a woman only conversation. And before 1960, we were not on that. The white women taught black women this woman only conversation. We were all about us and unity and togetherness. We're not like that no more. So yes, Roz, the boys should be held responsible. I'm held responsible. Other males are held responsible. You are right. But it's hard for us to ask these young boys to get on board when nobody is saying the same identical thing to the ladies. And the ladies believe in their mind that bonding with the white woman and using her talking points are a benefit to womanhood and black womanhood.
Okay, I don't know anybody in these spaces that seek to identify and build anything with white women. I don't know black women that want to do that. So
let me get to. I'm sorry, I'm skipping that. Here we go. Here we go. My lady
got involved in. We were helping black women with our dollars long before the white women even got into the black woman's ear. And yes, our grandfathers, Miss Franco, were in the thought process of help your women, help your women. I grew up in a very pro-black neighborhood out here where the Panthers were. It was all about help your women, do for your women. This back in the Afro days when I was a little kid. So my point is that, yes, I agree with you, Miss Frankel, but the part that's being left out of, we was helping black women way before, and we got into the idea of help the women because you as a guy, you're going to get yours. What we didn't calculate was people like the woman who wrote the book Hood Feminism. Hood Feminism is another documented fact of black feminists wondering why the white woman is not sticking up to her end of the feminism that was taught to black women. These are her words in a book, not mine. So again, most of the time, Mr. Research comes up here, you may not like it. People in the chat may resort to name calling, but let's deal with the documented facts because as Roz eloquently said, it's about fixing the problem. And we can't be in a situation where we just like, Mr. Research is going to bash women. No, some of these dudes are off code. Majority of these dudes are off code. And I can go on a male bashing thing all day long. But the whole point of this was why do dudes have this type of familiarity with each other and not for the women? My last point. When you start trying to use attacks like, does he date a black woman? Yeah, that's valid, but we're talking about the topic. But to be honest, yeah, I adore dark-skinned sisters more than anything. But here's the problem. Ladies, you're going to have to start admitting that grandma is tied up in the basement. She's not disciplining nobody no more because the new grandma is 20 years old and she's twerking right along with her 6-month-old great grandchild. And y'all got to stop that. Not us men. That's why I disagree with the brother say men got to do this and men got. We can't. You can go fill out welfare paperwork right now and get $1 million lawyer against the father of your child without having to pay a dime to that lawyer. That's power. That's weaponized. You women ain't stopping that. And unless that man has 3 to 5 G's, 15 G's to fight, that woman gets custody, she can leave the state with that child. Why? Because by law, she's a custodial parent. So it's not just so easy to throw these tropes out here of he just needs to do this and he just needs to do that. You get a lawyer for $1 million lawyer for free because it's all under Title IV. Now I'm quoting things you never heard before, and that's why you don't understand it. It's all under Title IV, and so get
black people that y'all talking about, man. Black people that y'all talking about, man. All I heard is talk about the ratchet low life ass black people, man.
Is it Lucy?
Conversation about like ratchet ass motherfuckers that don't know what to do with their fucking genitals, and then they want to put their problems on everybody else. I don't understand why the conversation is always circled around welfare queen and the fucking dusty ass baby daddy. Let's talk about the people, black people that, you know, got a little bit of money, the ones that prosperous. I'm not talking about these rich fuck ass celebrities. I'm talking about regular ass niggas like me. They have the ability to make $1,000, $2,000 a week. There's a whole lot of black people like that. So why is we still having this stupid ass, retarded ass, fuck ass conversation about these low life ass motherfuckers?
Thank you, Lucy. Lucy, from the fight, bro. Love this motherfucking conversation. Thank God. I've been saying that for the longest. Why are we still talking about these raggedy ass niggas and these fucked up bitches? God damn, yeah, I've been saying that for a while. Why we ain't focused on the other people? Thank you, Lucy. Thank you. Continue, Lucy.
These low life motherfuckers don't affect us in any type of way unless you let it. So what are we really talking about here? I've been listening for a minute and I hear the same circle ass fucking conversation. And we're not coming up with no solutions or nothing to our issue. Keep talking about the shit that's never gonna fucking change. Low life, retarded ass people that don't want shit for themselves. We can't do nothing about those fuckers. I'm using a white people word on that. Fuckers. We can't do nothing about these motherfuckers. So why don't we move on with the people that can do some things? I digress.
You know,
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, God. I've been saying that for a while. Why the fuck do we keep caring about these raggedy ass niggas and these busted ass bitches? Live stream after live stream. You know what the fucked up thing? Dudes are talking about trying to get a chick to bake him a pie. A hoe. Chick who's loose, trying to get her to bake you a pie. Why the fuck would you want to do that? And you know, we got chicks talking about, you know, these Negroes, they don't want to take me out on a date. Why are you dealing with a dude who don't want to take you out on a date? Why are you dealing with a dude whose date is Netflix and chill? And you know what the chill part is. Why you keep dealing with these motherfuckers? And then expecting them, and then on the back end, you're expecting the good people to check these motherfuckers. But you know what it is? I'm gonna say to answer Lucy's question. We desire those people. I said on the panel later on. We still desire those people. We still desire people who makes our dick hard and makes our vaginas wet. I hate to be vulgar, but that's what it is. And we're trying to make them people, with the help of the good people, to make these people upstanding citizens. That make these ratchet bitches mothers, wives. It's not gonna happen. You can't do that. It's too far gone. You're trying to make these ain't shit niggas into husbands and fathers. It's not gonna happen. It ain't trying to be wives and husbands, mothers, fathers, husbands and wives. They're not going to. And to keep trying to ask the men to make these guys husbands and wives, or to make husbands, right, and make these women into wives, and tell the good women to make these ratchet chicks wives and mothers. It's asinine. That's the problem with our community. We don't know when to let people go. Get these people out of your life. We don't know how to do that. We want other people to correct them. No, just get them out your life. Get them out your life. That's all it is. Just get them out your life. Yeah, Lucy with the pipe on. Thank you.
Hey, yeah, Rozzy, I changed my channel name because I'm being serious on this shit, man. I'm tired of these niggas talking this stupid shit. Stupid motherfuckers coming over here, Ghana and other parts of Africa talking the same retarded ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. We are retarded globally. And I'm done dealing with retarded ass niggas. And I'm done talking about retarded niggas. Let's talk about people that ain't retarded, like us that's on this panel right now. Let's get some solutions. Fuck all these low life motherfuckers.
Yeah, man. It's the research, bruh. You talking about you had talked about the black woman's disrespect for the black man, and black folk, we disrespect each other a lot, man. And that's not necessarily, it's not a black thing, man. Man, black men just need to buckle down, man, and just you know, it's I look at it as this, that black men just need to make an amends with black women, man, and just say, listen, I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of the.
Yeah, that is like Lucy said. We too focused on these ain't shit niggas, ain't shit bitches, and that does not include finances. Cause you got some dudes who got money, ain't shit. They still ain't shit. You got chicks making a good money, still ain't shit. I mean, shit. Let's look at Future. Baby after baby after baby. Nicki Minaj, she's dating a goddamn child molester. Think about that a second now. These people got money. These people got money, and they're still doing the same shit that regular people who ain't got money do. Think about that a second. So let me move forward. Because Razi was just talking about, black people need to get together. And like I said, that's going to be difficult because there's too much hate on both sides. And I'm going to fast forward to one more part.
And the thing is, if you were just to follow suit, if you just did, the proper man shit, that black women would follow. This is the thing. People get mad that black women twerk and they show their asses on Instagram and stuff like that. And people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. Black women always do what black men want them to do. Imagine if you built up your community and did, the proper things. Black women would follow suit because it can be unfortunate and it can be fortunate. But we follow what black men want. That's why black women wear weave. That's why black women get ass shots. That's why they twerk. That's why they show their bodies, because we know that black men like this. You cannot say that you don't like this, because if you did it, there wouldn't be a massive influx of black men following this type of behavior. Black women do what black men want them to do. And when you're fucking up, we're going to follow suit and fuck up too.
I hear you. So go ahead.
I want to know your views, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you and thank you for Black Yard saying that, because I disagree with attacking the rappers initially before I even came up here without understanding why that ratchet rapper did some of the things they did. But with that said, just like Black Yard said, let's get to the solution. So let me ask Blackyard this question. So if black males build the community, should they build it as patriarchs or should they build it as created and will co-run it?
The second one.
What?
I know you weren't asking me, but the second one.
Wait a minute, repeat
No,
that last word again.
What was the second one? What did you say? I didn't even hear that.
So my
As
question is, yeah, this is just about solutions. This is just like Blackyard. Let's talk solutions, because sometimes people want black males to be the laborers, but then back up
As they should.
But then back up after they created it and be co-collaborators. So which one are we doing? Are we asking these dudes to do patriarch, meaning that, hey, you dudes, you create it, and just like all other men, you run it. What you don't like ain't gonna happen. You create laws, it's going to be what it needs to be. Because the reason I'm asking Blackyard,
Hell yeah, patriarchs. Hell yeah.
wait. Let me finish. The reason I'm asking, because when, just like in my case, I'm the only black man in my whole hospital. I have to fight against black women to get black men hired. White women and white men are trying to help me fight black women to get black men hired. It's the craziest thing ever, right? But I ran into this before when I was in Atlanta working at Wellstar. I ran into it again when I was in Seattle. It is a weird thing that happens. But here's my question. When the woman said to me, you just trying to bring that patriarch BS. No, I'm trying to be equal. Now, that's the problem, Blackyard, when we come about solution. I'm down with it. I'm on two different boards. I'm with it. But it's difficult if our counterpart wants us to be co-collaborators after it's built, rather than co-collaborators while building it, meaning that they have to have some responsibility too, Blackyard. And if that's not the case, if it's black men as we should, then we're going to put some patriarch in there. And it's people ain't going to be able to say you're trying to be like the white man. We're doing exactly what you want. We're creating laws that we don't like. We're creating laws that help black guys and so help black families and black females. We ain't trying to be unfair to women. We ain't trying to be dictators. We ain't going to do that. But which one are we going to do? Are we going to be the patriarch creators? Or are we going to, you guys labor, and then we women will come in after the fact, Blackyard, and be co-cooperators? Which one are we doing? Just so I understand.
Okay.
Really quick, she's not here, and I don't know what she would say, but my personal opinion, I'm a traditional woman, so I don't mind men taking the lead as long as it's not unfavorable to black women and children. Like if you build some type of patriarch that allows me to rest in my femininity, do what I want to do, not, anything malicious or anything like that, but, being that woman that I've always wanted to be, start a garden, feed the community, make sure everybody is, getting equal opportunities. Sure, that would be great. But it can't be a patriarchy to where the men are winning and the women are just mammies and we're just like, being somebody's servants and we're just being doormats for the black community. It's just not going to work. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to build, great. I will assist in keeping the upkeep of this building. I will assist in making sure that everyone is okay. But I'm not going to assist in something that's not favorable to me. I'm not going to assist in something that's, not benefiting me and allowing me to be a woman. If I can't be a woman and be feminine and just do what feels good to my soul and my spirit and my body, I'm not going to participate in it. And you're not going to be uplifting white bitches either. Like, you're not going to be like having a community, like where you're uplifting white bitches and mixed children and stuff like that. Like,
right. So here's the only problem I have with what you said. My I. When the problem is when you're trying to do something collective, we're asking men to not be in a my I mentality. And if we're asking men and sons and uncles to not be in a my, I mentality, to conform, then when a woman comes along and says she wants to stay in a my, me, I mentality.
How is that my, me? Because I want to uplift and take care of the community. If you're building, I want to take care of them. I want to help everyone.
Let's both share the mic. If that's the thought process, then
Yeah, I think what she missed is the fact that I want to rest in my femininity and my spirit. I think that's what Mr. Teresa was talking about. She conveniently she get the other part where I want to help the community. Nothing, he didn't say nothing about that. But when you're talking about what would benefit me instead of what benefit the community, yeah, people are gonna have a problem with that. Like, look, hey, how is that going to benefit me? You want me to build this community? How is that going to benefit me? It's like, okay, it benefits you, but it don't benefit me. So, and again, you can't have a situation where the men are not benefiting from what they're building. It's just not going to work. I agree with Mr. Research on that. Now, on her misfit point about resting in your femininity, okay, I get that part. Want to rest in your femininity, great. But here's the thing: other groups of women help them to help their community so they can rest in their femininity. They're not just sitting back with their feet up. No, you got to put in the work too. Even white supremacy is a tag team sport. The men and the women are both tag teaming. So the women can, well, I guess kind of kick their feet up. Some of them ain't kicking their feet up at all. They're kicking their men in the ass. They're kicking them in the ass. And then he's slapping them in the face. So that kind of femininity, I don't know. But yeah, but if normal femininity, I don't even know why I'm talking about femininity. I'm a man. I don't even know how that works. I don't even know why. You know what's weird to me? Men talking about femininity, but you're not a woman. Just like it's weird to me, women talking about what's masculine, but you're not a man. You're only going by what you see. You only got what you think that it is. It's not what it is, you know. So it's kind of that's a weird thing to be doing. But let me continue.
And that's not going to go well with the guys. Here's
okay, so yeah, so you don't want it the way that you're claiming that you do.
I'm not even understanding, Mr. Researcher. But you got go ahead, Joe.
She's not going to let nobody put it herself, so I had to wait for her to finish.
Go ahead. It's fine.
I'll go ahead.
In the interest of fairness and equality, we're talking about solutions, okay?
Yeah.
If you want these dudes to do exactly what you're talking about, it can't be a my, me mentality. You're going to have to, just like the guys, you're going to have to take some compromise that you're not going to like. Hey, brothers, I know that woman is popping her mouth, but I need for you to walk away. Hey, sister, I know you're angry, but you need to show some decorum on the mouth. The brother's walking away. You need to let it go. I don't need to let it go. I need to do what I want to do and do. No, sister. No. In order for us to operate this community with these solutions the way Blackyard wants us to do, it has to be equal. You just can't demand stuff of the men and you as a woman just get to wild out. Here's my last point, Roz.
Okay, right, that's true.
I've lived overseas. I lived overseas for 4 years in my early 20s. I lived in Romania, France, England, and the Caribbean. Okay, and I came back to America. When I tell you Pakistani women get treated way worse than black women. Asian women get treated way worse than black women. Russian women, terrible treatment. Serbian, the Ukrainians, terrible treatment. Black women got it outstandingly good as opposed to those. So sometimes when our women are like, create this thing, we want our women to understand, lady, it may not be 90% to your perfection statistics. You may only get 70, 80%. Can you acknowledge that you're getting that? No, it got to be 90. Well, then we're going to have a problem creating the solution, because some of the sons that came out of your girlfriend's home, your auntie's home, they are anti-female. I don't know how it happened, but in order for me to correct it, I need to be able to create something that's attractive for them to say, regardless of how my mama treated me and put Nikes on my feet while told me I ain't nothing, gave me a cootie sweater while telling me to get the hell out of her house, or mentally beat me, because coddle is all about what people see. You got to understand, for these solutions to work for some of these boys, which is our topic, these boys are going to have to see real camaraderie, real conformity on both sides. It can't just be me and Roz holding 30 boys hostage, telling them you got to bow down to women. It can't be that.
Nobody is saying that. That's what I don't understand about your narrative. Like Afro Sheen said earlier, it's like you don't want to be a leader. Like you want, first of all, I stated when we were talking about this, quote unquote utopia or whatever, resting in your femininity is not being combative with black men. I don't think you understand. When a black man creates, or any race of men creates, a safe haven for a black woman, and she's able to just live her best life.
That's not what he said. I think he's saying, look, you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to leave. You're going to have to put in some work. It can't be him doing all the work and you just sitting there doing nothing. You got to put in the work. Like I said, white supremacy is a tag team event. As much as they fight each other, they're tag teaming against the black man and the black woman. It's a tag team thing. It can't just be one side doing all the work and then the other side just sitting there and just waiting for the benefit. Nobody's going to work in that system. That's what Mr. Research is saying. She's trying to say is like, they want the women to do the work and the guys just sit back and just dictate everything. It's like, no, that's not what it's saying. It's like, how can I put this? It's like people want their narrative and they see it their way and not looking at the they're not looking at what the person's actually saying and dissecting it. They just hear what they want to hear, and then they're just going from there.
She is extremely feminine and uncombative. You know why? Because she doesn't have to. If a man can create a peaceful environment where all the woman has to do is cook and clean and nurture and teach the children, do you realize what that does for women? It allows them to be everything that they ever wanted to be, because that's what most women want to be. You can't say like, oh, it needs to be this equal thing where you're like making sure, like, no, the man is supposed to create a peaceful environment to where the woman can do as she pleases. And I'm not saying, oh, selfish, my, when you were saying like, oh, you're talking about me and I'm not saying that, because like I just said before, she's willing to do so many things for the community as long as she can rest, as long as she can be who she is. Like as a woman, I just want to clean up my house, make sure everything is nicely decorated. I want to get my hair done and get my nails done. And I just want to make sure that my children are happy. Everything is clean. I just want a man to take care of the rest. I'm not disrespectful. I'm not a bitch. You know, like I'm not combative. You know, but when you have to cover all those bases that a man should be covering, of course you're going to be masculine. Like, what are you talking about? Women should not. That's just like the old school trope where, you know, mom creates the rules and dad enforces it. You know, like women, you know, for the most part say like, okay, stay in the front yard, or, you know, do your chores, or do this and do that. And then the man says, did you do what your mom told you to do? You know, because that's just the way that it goes. Like, you know, women are not seeking to run anything or, you know, dictate people's lives. We're seeking a place of refuge where we can rest, and the rules are going to be fair so that everyone can be comfortable. Just think about it. If you create these rules of fairness in rules of where women can rest and be okay, we'll just enforce it and just be women. Nobody's going to be like, oh, nigga, fuck you, and be putting their hands on black women. Black men, for the most part, black women are not even like that. We do it because we don't have any other choice. I don't think that majority of black men understand that black women are just feminine women who just want to rest. Like, we just want to be nice and beautiful. We want to adorn ourselves.
And that's
like, we're not trying to be bitches.
That's the problem with the conversation. Now, once during this time has Melanated ever said some women do that. She doesn't even believe some women would do those type of things. She believes that all want the rest. Now, I'm gonna do a review of this whole thing for my fans. No, at no point in time are we gonna hear Melanated said some women actually do you guys wrong. Some women, even Black Yard, was respectful the conversation and said those are the ratchets. And you know what, Black Yard, I agree with you. But my dear lady here speaking, she doesn't believe any of those people exist, and that's why the conversation is so difficult for her.
That's not true.
Can I just say something? Can I just say something?
That's not true.
I'm sorry. Look, I just need to say something. I don't mean to interrupt people, but I just have to say this though. A lot of black women, and I'm not saying melanated misfit is like this, but a lot of black women believe that black women don't do fucked up shit that black men do. A lot of black women do, like, they don't believe black women do anything that's wrong to black men. And you can't.
Yep, that is true. It's either, well, she was fucked up, or she was this man did this, she had daddy issues, she had a bad day, blah 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 blah. And that's not giving any consideration to the guys. Like, yeah, you know, he treated her like shit. Yeah, because he had a broken childhood. What do you expect? Boys are treating these women like shit. That don't come out of nowhere. It's like this hatred for black women didn't come from anywhere. This came from somewhere. It comes from broken homes. That's coming from both sides of the coin. Dang, it's 3 hours. I didn't think it was gonna be that long, but goddamn. Anyway, I'm trying to finish it up. Jesus Christ, I didn't know it was gonna be that long. But it was just so much good stuff in it, and this ain't even. I didn't even really get all the stuff that I could get out of this. Because otherwise, this would be as long as the actual video. It's already like half of it right now. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Hold on.
And that is being intellectually dishonest, and that is being, I mean, if you can sit here and say that you don't know any black woman that does not abuse a black man, or you've never seen a scenario where a black woman is dogging out a black man or treating him wrong, then you're lying. Because that's not true.
No. That's not what I said. I'm saying that you got a lot of black women who believe, like they only think that the man is the one who's doing the fucked up shit. And they don't believe women are doing fucked up shit out here to men. They got that type of mentality.
Not me.
I'm not saying it's you. I'm just saying that a lot of black women have that mentality that black women don't do bad shit to the men in the community. So so when the brother right here, Mr. Research, was talking about how the women are disrespecting the men, and the men are not feeling like they want to cooperate with the woman. I can understand why he said that, because well, me as a black man, I'm gonna always want to be with the black woman, regardless on how many disrespectful black women is out here. But other black men are like, man, these women disrespectful. I just want to, these women are, a lot of y'all women are disrespectful as hell. Let's keep it real.
And they are, and I'm not excusing it for 1 second, but I can honestly say, any black woman that I know that has, attempted to emasculate a black man or done anything that is outside of being feminine is because she was forced to, or the level of abuse that black women face. Some black women are not even used to being treated correctly. So it's like when they get this, it's like, oh my goodness, oh, he a bitch ass nigga, he a sucker. Like, the thing is, I'm not biased. I'm not coming from a place of biasness. I know that, there is literally something wrong with black people, period. Black men and women alike.
Okay, question. Have you ever heard of the term black women created called mammy and pick-me? Have you ever heard of these terms?
Absolutely.
Do you believe black men created those terms?
You know what? No, I do not. I do believe that black women created that term. Yes.
So my question, just to shift it for you and Ms. Franco, and again, I came here polite just to have an intellectual conversation. Why would black women create negative, disrespectful terms, mammy and pick me, for women who just want to love Rozzy? Rozzy, you should be with me. Oh, she a pick me. You pick me make me sick. Why would
why? The fact that you don't even understand that. Go ahead, Mr. Research.
Because this is good for the chat room calling me names too. Adults calling me names. I don't get it. But if everything you guys are saying is so true, or those gentlemen were saying was so true prior, why are women attacking other black women? This ain't white women creating this stuff. Why are black women creating this stuff? Because they saw Lamara Negra cleaning her boyfriend's bathroom. She a man.
Because they're tired. Because they're tired of unreciprocated love. They're tired of unrequited love. This is the thing.
They're attacking other black women because they're tired of not getting love in their life. That's really your answer.
No. That's not what it is. They don't want to get online. Here's the problem with this. I have not uplifted a black man since Sandra Bland. No. If you're not willing to listen, then okay. But this is what I'm saying. I have not uplifted a black man since they made Sandra Bland and Corinne Gaines. After that, I made it my personal decision. I made a personal choice to never ever say, oh, the black man is strong. He's wonderful. Let's uplift him. Let's be his peace. Let's be his, let's be his backbone. And the reason that I chose not to do that is because there were too many black men blaming Sandra Bland and Corinne Gaines for their demise. When you can get online and say that Sandra Bland brought her demise on herself, when you can get online and say that Corinne Gaines brought her demise on herself, my upliftment for you is gone. And the thing is, you rarely ever see, I don't care what anybody says, when you get online, it's so rare to see a black man say, oh, black woman, you're wonderful, you're beautiful, you're this, you're everything, and this and the third. It's so rare to see that and to me, you are a mammy if you do that, because you're uplifting men who don't give a damn about you.
And the thing is, if Rozzy was on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, hell yeah, I would uplift him, Hassan, and Max, because they're unicorns. They're like they're like a 4-leaf clover. You know, so of course, if I see them online, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, there's a king. That's one of my brothers. Yeah, I love him. He's amazing. He's wonderful. But for the collective, absolutely not. I would never, ever in life get online and uplift a black man, because you are being a mammy. You are being a pick-me, because you are uplifting men who would never, ever uplift you. Not only will they never uplift you, they'll even blame you for your own death.
And this is a war we cannot help. Hold on. Just get 30 seconds. This is a war we black men can't fight. This fabricated, I feel, I believe he would not uplift you. And therefore, I'm going to go and bond.
This is not something that I feel or believe. This is online. You can look at it. What do you mean? This isn't about feelings. This isn't about what I believe. This is what I see.
Black men are not even black men. A lot of these dudes are from Turkey. I'm blessed to dudes on my channel who are from Turkey, who are from Russia, who are Japanese.
And again, this is the problem. You're picking broken men and projecting that on all men. I know some men who was saying that was fucked up. There were men that were saying, "Oh, she got killed. That's fucked up." It wasn't just yes. There were there's some dudes that were saying that yes, but those were immature motherfuckers, idiots, and more. You had dudes who were saying like George Floyd should have got killed. You had dudes who were saying RB, I forgot his last name, deserved to get killed. You going to have broken people say some fucked up shit. It's the internet. There is no control. You're going to have fucked up people saying some fucked up shit. There's nothing you can do about that. But you don't put that on all the men as a collective. Just like you shouldn't put that all on the women as a collective. Yes, there's some women saying some fucked up shit about some dudes. I just say those bitches, fuck them bitches. Let them rock. But I'm not gonna put that on all black women. There's some fucked up bitches. Fuck them. If they get hurt, they get hurt. But I will never say all women, all this, all women, and that. No, I can't do that on the internet. Can't do that. So to base your feelings on men on a small group of dudes, and it's YouTube and Instagram and social media is a rest haven for broken people. It's for broken people. What you expect they're gonna do? Broken people gonna do some fucked up shit. That's the way it is. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. So, to put that on black men, that's just crazy, man. Just crazy.
When you have a sector of black men who look at what happened to Sandra Bland, and the first thing that comes out of their mouths is, oh, well, she should have been more polite. Oh, well, she deserved what she got because she shouldn't have been getting smart with the police. Oh, I love white women. Oh, black women are trash. They're gross. Look at her skin. She's disgusting. After that, I was done. I have not said anything positive about a black man since Sandra Bland and Corinne Gaines died, and I never will.
No, can I just say? I just say this. I don't believe that most black men in America will blame a black woman for her death. Okay, yes, you had some weirdos who did say that, and I saw them and my mouth was on the floor when I saw it because I would think that would never happen, right? But I know for a fact most black men will not do that type shit. And I understand why you don't want to uplift black men because
well, the thing is,
hold up.
I've seen it too many times. Go ahead, Rozzy. Sorry, baby.
Now I understand you have so many black men on YouTube, right? That shit on a black woman. And that shit irks my nerves. Like I look, the black woman is the reflection of me. If you against black,
Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. But yeah, that was very troublesome. And then, again, you're putting it on a whole sector. Trust me, I get it. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I had to move to another location. So anyway, like I said, that was a problem. But it kind of shows that this divide is still there, and it's a we're blaming black men for all the problems of a certain few, and we're not leaving it what it needs to be. We have a situation where we have opposing views on whose fault it is, the community, what it is. One side is saying it's all black men, and to a degree, I agree with them. But there is some fault with the women, and if we're both going to fix it, it's going to have to take both sides. Both sides are not perfect. Both sides are not. Um, both sides are not innocent. Both sides are doing some dirt that they shouldn't be. And until both sides get it together, we're not going to fix anything. We're going to still have these arguments. And like Lucy said earlier, we're too focused on the ratchet bitches and we're too focused on these ain't shit niggas. Until we fix that problem, focusing on these people because they're the loudest bunch of the group, and we don't fix our desire for those people, even just to argue with them, we're not going to fix anything. We're going to just keep pointing fingers. We're going to just keep saying it's her fault, it's his fault. No, we all have a part in this, and we all going to have a part in fixing it. One side can't sit and rest till it's fixed. Men had to do the heavy lifting, but women going to have to put in some work. Because white supremacy is not white supremacy is a tag team sport. Those men and the women were both working together to fuck your community up. So you're gonna fix it, both gonna have to work together. Both gotta get rid of these ain't shit niggas and these ain't shit bitches. That's just a fact. You can't have a group of men trying to fix something, but you still got ain't shit bitches around. It's not gonna work. You gotta keep these men from dealing with these ain't shit bitches. And the same with the chicks. You gotta keep these ain't sheep niggas away from these chicks. Keep them away from the children. It's just the way it is. It's too much. I'm seeing too much abuse from men and women to children. Never mind the men and the women, but to children. I'm seeing women killing kids. I'm seeing dudes killing kids and women right there with them. That's insane. But we're sitting there and say, well, it's his fault. It's this man's fault. Or we saying it's the women's fault. It's the women's fault. No, it's both sides. Both sides are not. It's not enough people caring. Like I said, 25% of the men and women care. 50% just going there trying to get along. 25% don't give a fuck and will do everything to undermine it. And so if we're gonna fix it, everybody's gonna have to put in the work. You know, and stop working on these worry about these ain't shit niggas and these ain't shit bitches. So that is it for me. This is like the longest live stream I ever done. Jesus Christ, 3.5. But it was such good information in there. I couldn't do just like an hour with this. I had to go through it, get the juicy stuff. And this ain't even all of it. There's some other stuff that I could like really sink my teeth into, but I just wanted to show the majority of it. It at the end, it just shows that one side is on willing to say, one side is willing to say, yeah, both sides got to fix it. One side is just stubborn and saying it's just one sided. And, you know, as long as we have that situation where, especially when we talk about the women's responsibility, as long as we still divided on what the women are supposed to do, what their responsibility, if they have any responsibility at all for their part in the community, then it's not going to work. You're still going to have views divided. Hey, what's going on? Sorry about that. That was a coworker. But yeah, at the end of the day, until we get that situated, what the women are supposed to do, and what responsibilities they have, and we care about the men more than we do the good men. I'm not talking about these fuck boys. Actually, good men. Till we care more about them and actually uplift them, make sure they're straight, and uplift the women, the good women, not these ratchet ass bitches. It's not gonna work. That's meant for me. This is Brother Speak. Y'all have a good night.